Hello, hello, and welcome everyone tonight to Risen Esports Winter Team Builder League Week 5. It's only on Tuesdays, and it's only us. Welcome to Bamis Division. I'm your play-by-play caster, Kevin Dunk, joined by the one and only Aerosteon on color, and we're very excited to be your casters for tonight's match. We'd like to give a shout-out to the man keeping things running in the background, that being Three Eyes tonight, who is doing production for us today. It is our last week before playoffs officially start, and these two teams are looking to make their way into the last spot, as the best of three match tonight will be between Cut Teeth and the Gamers Republic of Margaritaville. Tonight, both of these teams have their last shot at securing their spot in the Bamis Division playoffs. They'll have to pull out every stop and show their best gameplay tonight if they want a chance to qualify. Will Cut Teeth take a bite out of the competition, or will Margaritaville ice them out, maybe give them some brain freeze? You'll all see that tonight as I pass it over to my awesome co-host, Aerosteon, to take us through the first phase of draft that's already started. He'll share his thoughts on the matchup and maybe on these two teams with some very interesting players. Aero, please take us away.
Thank you, Kevin. Wonderful intro as always. And I mean, right, you said it. So we're right into draft. I mean, all bands going through so far. So, um, I mean, the only few notes that I have for some of these players is that Cut Teeth's 80 carry Tony has 6.2 million mastery on Zaya, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that at all this series. I mean, the band's already there for the side of Rita, so good scouting on the Rita side. But I mean, so far it's really good drafts. I like the Ash first pick. She's just a solid, solid blind, solid just champion in general. But then Cut Teeth answering with the misfortune Jarvan, and that's just overall just a solid combo in the mid and late game for any team fights and everything. So I'm so far so good with the draft. But I am. So excited to see what these teams will pull out for us. I mean, like you said, the stakes are you can't get much higher. It's as simple as if you win, you're in playoffs likely, and if you're out, if you lose, you're out straight up. So putting yourself in the best position to get to playoffs it just means you have to win. So interest, but right now what I'm seeing from Rita is like we have an Ash Poppy Seraphine, which is I mean I love Poppy. She just absolutely negates Jarvan's EQ, engage, flag drag, and everything. So so far I like the draft adaptation. I believe this is probably a Poppy jungle or top lane. It could have been a flex into bot, but I haven't seen much in the OPGGs. So I think, and then with the Seraphine pick, this is likely a Seraphine Ash in the bot lane, but I could be it could be wrong. But right now, Cut Teeth will answer with the blind Syndra. So now that they can protect the Syndra if they want, but they're gonna opt to ban out the top lane a little bit more.
Yep, what we have here is a pretty standard, I think, team comp for the Republic here, as Ash Seraphine, like you said, is just a very powerful bot lane duo. You hit them
Mm-hmm.
with the slow, and then Seraphine's E, the beat drop, is guaranteed to hit the
Mm-hmm.
snare. And then if you double it, you're actually guaranteed a stun. Against something like the Misfortune, that's, I'd say pretty comparable attack range. It's not, easy to hit, especially since Misfortune can hit the strut, but
For
it's
sure.
that combo is just so strong for setting up the guaranteed CC. We're gonna have to see if Cut Teeth are gonna invest some draft resources to counter that, because it looks like Rita looking to ban more hard engaged supports like the Nautilus. We already see the Rel in the second
Mm-hmm.
phase. It looks like
Yeah.
Cut Teeth are just looking to ban out to the solo lane, so I think Rita are really gonna have to focus on this bot side. But I really like the Poppy here, Arrow. It stops the Jarvan engage, especially on these two
Yeah.
immobile carries. That is the Ash Seraphine, the bullet time Cataclysm. I don't know what we had named as the combo. I don't know, the bullet box, whatever we decide. The shooting range, shooting
The
fish in
shooting
in a in
range.
a barrel.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Fish in a barrel is a good one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Might be
But
too long for us to yell, but yeah, we're gonna jump into
yeah,
the second phase of
yeah.
picks here, as Cut Teeth are on red side. They're picking, the first they'll get red side R5 counter pick, but they do have the Syndra locked in. Maybe they'll play a little bit more around that to give her some peel with the support pick.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Rel ban. Rel is just a solid combo with that misfortune, and then Mundo also. Mundo's just really strong right now. I think it's just a freaking 80 carries nightmare and just a general nightmare for anybody on the enemy team. So Mundo ban is pretty good, especially having um essentially that spell shield on that passive from Mundo, being able to block some CC from, Ashe, Poppy, Seraphine, whatever, right? But just Ashe in general, she can eventually get to the point where she can shred through a Mundo, but I just think the Mundo is a good ban. But it also questionable because they did already show their jungle pick in the Jarvan, but could have gone top lane, of course. So right now, I mean, Leona being picked to pair with that Misfortune, which is again a great combination with that bullet time, with the solar flare. So I like the bot lane combo, but I do fear that this Leona's might get bullied out by this double range composition in the bot lane. So we'll have to keep our eyes there and see how if they can weather the storm in the early game, and then have J4 potentially come in and sway that bot lane. But it looks like we're gonna get Ari and then the blind Renekton on the side of Rita. So I overall pretty good composition on the side of Rita. I love that they have engaged tools. I mean, they have Renekton, who is really strong early, can pair with that Poppy for some early ganks in the top lane, depending on what Cut Teeth want to play against this Renekton. So right now they're hovering Rumble. So I mean,
Okay.
we got some team fight combos here on the side of Cut Teeth. It's like J4 Cataclysm into Misfortune, Solar Flare. Misfortune, bullet time, and then we have the red carpet from Rumble with the equalizer. So it's like we have a lot of good team fighting tools. But then on the side of Rita, I mean, it's gonna be hard to lock down this Ari with Spirit Rush. You're gonna hardly it's gonna be hard to lock down this Renekton with Slice and Dice as well. And then at the end of the day, we mentioned it earlier, Kevin, where it's Jarvan EQ is going to be blocked by the Poppy. So at the end of the day, for Cut Teeth, your engaged tools are a blind or a bear, solar flare from Leona, or a equalizer from Rumble, or like you're hoping that this Jarvan can find the EQ angle to not get steadfast presence from Poppy. So I mean, but if they can find that engage, I think Cut Teeth have a very, very solid composition. But I think Rita, they just have a lot of great tools to cleanly survive this early game, and even survive some of the team fight tools that Cut Teeth have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you said it, you're completely on the same lines of what I was thinking here, Arrow, is that both teams just have so many team fight tools. I think it's really going to come down to how they scrap in those bigger 5v5s, right? These, are, not to flame, but just to throw that out, that they are the bottom two teams, likely it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of macro around just getting the straight up 5v5. And I like that both
Hmm.
teams picked tools for that, right? I think a lot of the problem sometimes is when you go for hard to execute comps that include side laning, that include looking for picks, it's really
Hmm.
not straightforward, and you can kind of fail on the execution. But both teams here have a lot of like easy to use tools, right? You just find a charm, find a charge into the wall, find a Seraphine root, find an Ashe ulti, and then Cut Teeth on the other side, right? Drop a solar flare. If it doesn't
Right.
hit anyone, you don't have to go in, right? Look for a Syndra stun. If it hits something, it's great. You can engage, follow up with the Jarvan, and there's just so many easy like point and click, hit R button and kill them on the side
Right.
of Cut Teeth, right? And there's no
Hmm.
real front line, I think, for Rita outside of the Poppy.
Right.
If the Poppy is behind, she's still a pretty squishy target. But, the Poppy, on the other hand, if she does get ahead, right, she's like stuffing the engage from the Leona. She's stuffing the engage from Jarvan, getting, good angles
Hmm.
on champions on Cut Teeth. So yeah, I mean, just tons of Wombo combos on both sides. I love that they have the spicy hot pot combo
For
on Cut
sure.
Teeth, right, with the
Hmm.
Rumble J4,
Right.
multiple champions that you do want to hit that with. I think the Ashe Seraphine for sure. I mean, Ahri is a bit more mobile, can dash out of that.
For
Same
sure.
with the Renekton.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just worry a little bit about, I think, the top side, because these are both very powerful ganking junglers, and these are both
For sure.
top laners that if you're behind, you're kind of cooked, right? You never want to
Oh,
play
for sure.
Renekton or Rumble behind. But yeah, I'd like to pass it over to you, Arrow. Like, if you're one of the players on these teams, us both being 80 carry means, the least important role, most underpowered role in the game, obviously. Which
Yeah.
draft would you rather be a part of if you were to choose?
It just depends on who engages first, honestly. I mean, I think I have to favor Rita's draft with this Ashe. I think this Ashe, I think White Devil on this Ashe is going to have so much power to really control these team fights, going into dragon fights and whatever. But if White Devil on this Ashe can start the team fight onto a key member of Cut Teeth, I think I think they win out team fights fairly easily. Because I think you mentioned it. Both teams have really good team fight compositions. But if whoever starts the fight first is likely the winner. I think you brought up a really good point. Rita don't have that big beefy frontliner except for maybe that Poppy, but that's about it, right? So you catch out a Poppy, you catch out an Ari, you catch out anybody on the Rita side, then it's just an easy kill, right? But on the flip side, Rita, they also have the same tools where it's Ash enchanted crystal arrow into Ari charm into a Seraphine ultimate. Like that's just a that's an easy a quick kill onto cut teeth, any members
Right.
of cut teeth. So this Leona is Leona Jarvan will be tanky, will be very very effective later into the game, but until if they're behind, or if they're even, they might not have the HP to survive the Ash engage or anything, right? So I think if Rita can get the jump onto cut teeth, they have a very easy avenue. And I could say the same thing with cut teeth. So if they find the EQ Jarvan engage have the proper follow up, it's just an easy team fight win for them as well. So whoever can find the engage first will win the team fights, and of course that just ends up being whoever has set up first on dragons. So or whatever objective, right? So if things go according to plan, I expect Rita to have that bot lane push with their double range composition. So they should get the early dragons. And if Cut Teeth want to contest, then they should have positioning. Rita should have positioning on Cut Teeth to be able to start the fight and win out from there. So all theoretical. I do think I would prefer Rita's draft, but again, you have to execute. Otherwise, everything I'm saying it does not matter. It goes all out the window, right? So, I. I'm curious if you have if you have the same feelings, or if you have a different opinion there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I was playing an AD carry, excuse me, I think I'd rather be, playing the Misfortune, but that's just personal preference compared to the Ash. But like you said, I think you're completely on the ball there, Arrow. It's the fact of, do you have control first? Because face checking to either of these teams is just like a death sentence, right? And I think
100%.
the fun part about both these comps is that they can play to such a high level. These are like, if I saw this, in LCK finals, I'd be like, yeah, both these teams are pretty standard, right? Like Jarvan has ways to scout out. If there's
Oh
a
yeah,
danger bush, Ash has
yeah,
the hawk shot. There's so
the
many ways
flag,
for
yeah,
these teams to
yeah,
play ahead of, the vision control. And
that's true.
ultimately it's up to the players to really execute on their picks. The Ash ulti is very dangerous for something like the Rumble, something for the Syndra. But then
Yeah,
again, Ash is prone to be getting caught out by the Solar Flare, by the random, scatter the weak, scatter the weak,
scatter the
or
weak.
like a
Yep, yep.
random just Rumble ultimate, right? Just drop it on top of
Yeah,
the Ash when she has no flash, and you pretty much have a dead target. So I
right.
mean, I think I'd just slightly agree with you. I'd rather play the Ash Seraphine matchup just because it's the double ranged. But if
Hmm.
you do get behind on that double range matchup, and you get dove by like something
Yeah.
like a tanky Leona or like the Jarvan, it's gonna be a really hard situation to get out of because you just don't have the tankiness to live up to the burst. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, but I'd put it at like a very close margin. That's like a 51-49
Sure,
for
sure,
me.
yeah. I have to
Yeah.
agree. So,
All right, so I think that's going to be it for us in the draft. So Arrow and I are going to jump to a quick break. For everyone who's watching on the Risen stream, thank you for joining us. We'll be back after a short delay just to catch up on the spectator tool. Put in your predictions in the chat, and we'll be back very soon with game one of our, road to playoffs. We'll see you soon. Risen Esports, thank you for sitting through the break with us. It is Bamis Winter Team Builder. The road to playoffs starts today, as it's going to be the Republic of Gamers Margaritaville. I believe I messed that one up, but it's still fine. It's the Republic, baby, against Cut Teeth, as we're going to jump straight into the game. Kevin Dunk on play-by-play and Arrow Steon on color. Pretty standard team comps, which is a pretty great thing to see. No crazy things, no unexpected matchups. Ooh, early trading already. These
Yeah.
teams want to get right into the action, as we're just gonna start off. Yeah, Arrow, any thoughts before we jump into this what will be probably a chaotic early game?
No, I mean, I didn't think I thought it would be a standard 5 point kind of start, but no, it looks like I love Margaritaville looking for that early ward onto the Raptors, trying to spot out where this Jarvan is starting. It looks like both junglers starting top side, so they're going to be pathing down to this bot lane. So, really, uh, really cool to see what they. Oh,
Okay.
interesting. I honestly not super familiar with the Seraphine. Not sure if starting Q is the norm here, but I love the aggression. I mean, this is what they have to do early with their range advantage. So, liking what I'm seeing so far. But yeah, so I mean, right now, bot lane going about as I expect. You know, get this Seraphine going to get the push into the lane, but then same thing with the top lane. You know, I expect this Rumble to be bullying this Renekton for most of the early game until Renekton can get some jungle help, but I don't think this Poppy is going to be pathing top anytime soon. So I think when Renekton gets a few levels maybe level 3, level 5 into level 6, they might be able to contest this Rumble. But until then, this Rumble should have free reign in this top lane to get the push, get some CS, maybe create some health disparities, CS disparities, and win out in this game. But right now in the mid lane, I'm still a relatively new mid lane player. My main role is AD carry, but I have been learning mid lane because of my draft league team. But in my head, I feel like any matchup is okay against Syndra because a lot of Syndra is just dodging her Q and dodging her skill shots. And of course, Binger Bonger might be very, very skilled on the Syndra. So dodging those types of skill shots might be, dependent on player. But I think this mid lane should be fairly even. I do fear for the Syndra later into the game when they're down a flash and they have to dodge a charm or dodge a charm, dodge an Ashe ultimate. But I think this lane is pretty even in the early game. Both laners can poke each other out. So, but other than that, it looks like Jarvan did finish their clear a little bit faster. So we'll get to that bot lane scuttle first, even with the Rita bot lane having prio. But looks like they're having a little bit of a skirmish here.
I think they're getting sandwiched. I mean, on the top side, there's heavy trading, but the Jarvan, I think, maybe had to back off. Didn't burn the flash or anything, but now getting charged into the wall, gets charmed up. This is surely a kill. The electric proccing. First blood over to Trash Panda. A bit too much aggression from the Jarvan, face checking into Black Eyed Tees. And, this Poppy is repping it because they just donated that kill over to Trash Panda. A great lead. That's exactly what you want to have on the RE. So you can pressure as we see the engage. The cleanse activated from that Zenith Blade into the sun. Yeah, big chunk of damage onto White Devil, though, but there's no threat of a kill because Misfortune Tony is just a bit too low on mana for the follow-up. But, still good use of that engage. Ignite traded for the cleanse there in the bot, and now Quanzek is now, approaching in the bot lane, looking aggressive.
Yeah, and top lane, Renekton looking a little bit low right now, so they want to get this wave pushed in before they back, but this might be a kill threat
5-4, but Zork doesn't have any cooldowns.
Lands the Harpoon.
The Electro Harpoon is going to go into the danger zone, but it can't face check. I think Zork...
Poppy's on the way.
Back up. It's going to be a flash away. The Poppy is now there, overheated, activated, but Mist has chosen not to flash. Probably a good idea there because the Poppy was right there, as you said, Arrow, but now they're getting chased down the charge into the wall, clips him, and it's going to be the hammer shot flashed away from the scrap shield, just barely keeping him alive. And it's going to be just a heist for this Rumble to survive there, making it out, forcing up the
charm!
Flash charm!
Whoa!
Trash Panda has the mana, has the mechanics. Bingerbonger not fast enough to flash out of that one, and it's a second kill for Trash Panda on the Ahri. Great play from them, And one thing I do want to mention, I think we missed, is that arrow that already had blue buff from that early kill, and was just able to force up the Syndra. Seeing your opponent with a blue buff at 5 minutes in, that is terrifying, especially when you're already poked out. I mean, that advantage transitions into a solo kill. Nice job from Trash Panda to punch Cut teeth out early.
Yeah, good call there, Kevin. I mean, starting if we rewind all the way back, I mean that early scuttle play from Clan Crusher on this Jarvan has repercussions into the later parts of those plays. Like you were saying, Jarvan going down gives blue buff to Ahri, and then Poppy also being able to stay on the map after killing Jarvan on the early scuttle there allows them to be able to path up to this top lane, get to the kill onto the Poppy, and then in mid lane, Trash Pan. Wait a minute.
Quantic though on the gank.
Oh, but they have
home hits the stun into the Zenith play. Trash Panda invests all of the charges from the Spirit Rush to get away. So it's just going to be all traded for that support timer. But yeah, Binger Bonger, probably happy to have that pressure relieved a little bit from
they're
the
looking
gank,
for a regank here.
Oh, it's the stun onto Trash Panda, who has no ulti now. Hits the charm though, but now 3 people mid. The Flash Zenith Blade hits, the Flag and Drag hits into the Unleashed power for the shutdown. But now on the top side, level 6 hit from Zork, but Miztaz is overheated. He can't drop the equalizer and has no flash. Drops it now, trying to fight through the wave, trying to kite back, but he can't do it. Zork picks up the solo kill with the Dominus. Big Crocodile in the lane, hunts down the Rumble, and Republic of the Margaritas. They lose mid, but they win in top. It's just chaos already. Both teams looking to scrap early.
Yeah, I have to correct myself because Mizaz did flash out from the Poppy. It didn't go down and survived with 1 HP. But yeah, great. I love a great gank onto the mid lane there from Quantic on the Leona. The initial gank burning out the ultimate from Ahri, and then I don't think they flashed, but they burned out the ultimate, which is the key escapability from Ahri, and then wisely staying with Clan Crusher on the Jarvan to wrap around this exact wall that we're seeing right now to get to the kill onto Ahri, Trash Panda on this Ahri. So really great creative play there from the jungler and support of Cut Teeth, and right now, I mean, completely negating some of that. Not completely negating, but negating some of that lead that Trash Panda was able to generate from the early play, from the scuttle and the early solo kill. But right now, I think Bing Bonger is in trouble here.
Getting dumped on, gets it with the charm. Full combo does half of his HP as he gets the scatter of the weak, but it doesn't stun. And now Flash charge gets flash in response. Binger Bonger has to use the flash to get away from the wall stun. As yeah, it's just constant jungle pressure in the mid lane from both teams. So Binger Bonger gonna get jumped on again. Flash, or sorry, not the flash, but the charm. Flash not even needed. The Spirit Rush is just enough to get the kill. Binger Bonger had to use flash there early, but now the bullet time after the Zenith play, but the Leona's way too low to go in. Drops the ignite, but still goes down. Now Clan Crusher getting chased down in his own jungle. Black Eyed Peas doing decent damage, but Trash Panda has no Spirit Rush
on the
to follow
way.
up. Jarvan's going to be safer now, but still in the bot side, that is Leona dying. In the mid lane, that is Ahri dying, and slowly but surely, Cut Teeth are losing a bit of footing in this game. Rita having the momentum, invading the top side jungle as well. They're happy to be in this position from the lane advantages. But maybe the fight goes in.
Here, but it's 3v2.
Equalizer is dropped. Keeper's Verdict sends out the Rumble. The ultimate invested on the Renekton, but it's just going to be the Jarvan that dies. And Black Eyed Peas survives 1 HP. Unfortunately, use of that ultimate as we see the Leona try to roam up. Doesn't have the level 6 for the Solar Flare. So just unfortunately, Miztaz was sent out. Black Eyed Peas lived with a sliver of health. They just didn't have enough damage to kill this Poppy. I mean, that's just a tragedy there, right? You invest everything on this Poppy and just can't kill him. Zork picking that one up means, the Renekton is, very far ahead of the Rumble. Likely going to finish the Black Cleaver on that back. Just a terror in the top side for Cut Teeth as they're, they're slowly getting chipped away at.
Yeah, unfortunately, Quantic with these early roams, not able to get level 6 before they died there on the bot lane. So, and then right there when they roamed up into the jungle, didn't have level 6 to keep chasing. So the early plays do pay off. They do get the kill, but then unfortunately the later plays mean that Leona is delayed on the level 6, but they're still looking for something here. Now they're level 6.
Quantic gets it into the bullet. Sorry, not the bullet time. They make it rain. actually, Cleanse invested just for the slow to get in range for more autos, but White Devil did flash out of that one.
Yeah.
Tony on the Misfortune trading back heavily, but they still can't secure a kill. And the health bars are blinking for the side of Rita, but you know, they're
Panda
still pretty
here?
healthy because
No.
Trash Panda is here to back them up. White Devil just going to likely push out this wave and back, but you know, good aggression from the side of Cut Teeth, but they just can't secure the kill. There's just too much healing. But now the
More
Zenith
aggression.
blade
Oh,
walked up too far, but no, the
whiffed.
bullet time completely whiffs. As White Devil might be able to walk this one out.
I
Quantic
don't
gets
think it
exhausted,
matters,
he
though.
hits the stun, but Misfortune
Nice.
walks up for the auto attack. They get the kill. I thought surely that was going to be Ash escaping with the help of the Seraphine, but they managed to make it work. You know, that was a zoning bullet time.
It was
I
a
was about to
zoning
say.
bullet time. Yeah,
So
it
they still pick up
was.
that one. Yeah, Arrow, you know, my frustrations are, you know, unfounded, I guess. Oh, but we now see the gank, the flash away from the
Nice
Misfortune to get out of the
peel.
Ari. Trash Panda looking for the charm. This slow hits. Kwanzig now in a 1v2. Can they fight this? They're
J-Force
stalling for the
here.
Jarvan. Trash
Oh,
Panda has to
nice.
use the last Spirit Rush to get out of there. A nice hover from Clan Crusher to make sure their bot lane doesn't go down there. And Misfortune and Kwanzig on the Leona both escape after picking up that kill. Nice job from them. And yeah, the mid lane roams bot, they lose some CS, and the jungle roams bot, so
Yeah.
they lose some CS. So on both sides, the mid jungles are kind of trading in terms of who's farming and who's making the plays.
Yeah, I mean, Trash Panda had to force something there because they've been out of mid lane for such a long time. So then now their CS deficit is huge. They missed so much CS and a lot of EXP as well. So I like the idea that Trash Panda, you know, having to go for that play to try and get something out of this roam since they've been bought for so long. But unfortunately, Kwanzek, you know, honor them for the amazing peel that they provided there. You know, stunning up the Ari, preventing them from spirit rushing onto this low health Misfortune. So unfortunately for Trash.
Unfortunately for Kwanzig, he's gonna get stunned up, rooted up against the wall, and just burst down. Flashes out. The
no cleanse.
Black Eyed Peas is in range of the Solar Flare invested, but it's not going to be enough to keep this Misfortune alive. Donated to White Devil as the roam from the Cinders is too late, and now they have to climb into the wall. They're taking so much damage, and the Ari roam is here. Keeper's Verdict used to knock them up for a little bit longer to keep them in place for Trash Panda to dig up the trash and just eat up Bingermonger on the Syndra, picking up their 4th kill of the game.
All right, forget everything I said earlier. These 2 kills make up for the lost time that Trash Panda had. But I mean, I'm sure you can relate to me, Kevin, when your support gets caught out and then you're the one who dies for it. It's quite indicative of what just happened. So I think that might have been a caster curse. I was just praising Kwanzig for saving their 80 carry, and then all of a sudden they get their 80 carry killed, unfortunately. So you know, that happens. Oops, sorry. But you know, great play there from Black Eyed Peas on this.
Might have to stop you there as Arrow. We see
Oh,
Clan Crusher
great
going
step.
for the dragon with no prio, gets charmed up, gets knocked back, has to flash out of their own cataclysm as the
Wait,
Zenith
where's
Blade is here from
damage?
Kwanzig, but I don't think they're winning this 2v2. The Orb of
there's
Deception
damage.
is good and to deal enough damage to kill the Jarvan. Clan Crusher gets
Lance
crushed in his
Charms!
own jungle, and now the TP from the Renekton. What is the Crocodile doing here as it's going to be here to kill the Misfortune? This Crocodile just absolutely obliterates Misfortune, who was not expecting that roam, and it's going to be, you know, 4-man play on this bot side. Dragon, Clan Crusher just getting a bit too antsy, not realizing he doesn't have the right to be there, gets absolutely, you know, slammed in his own jungle, and it's going to be him giving up the kills. Misfortune, you know, dying was slightly unrelated there, kind of face-checked a giant Crocodile, but, I mean, that is now 10 kills to 2, a 3.5k gold lead, and a Dragon for the side of Republic. They are looking in a great spot right now.
Yeah, but just like this jungler, I mean, Tony on this Misfortune had no right to be in that river. There's no reason to face check there. I mean, their jungler just gets killed, and your team isn't in position to, you know, help you in that sense. So it's like there's no reason to be there.
Flare hits true as we see the Zenith Blade follow up the slow from the Make It Rain into the bullet time. White Devil tries to kite it out, but can they still get the kill? It's going to look like Cut Teeth can do it. The double up secures it as Tony picks up the kill. A nice pick on this Ashe from the Misfortune Leona duo, just comboing both ultimates, hitting them, getting enough damage. But now on the other side, Bingermong getting chased down, misses the scatter of the week. The flash charm, no, it's flashed away from, but he went in a straight line, and Trash Panda is just going to dig up his corpse on that one. And for the 4th time this game, Bingermonger goes down, and now Zork getting very aggressive on Miztaz. Is this going to be a kill angle? I don't think so. Zork has the flash and the ultimate, but is not going to invest it further. Oh, sorry, he used the ultimate.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow bot lane. Look at the I think
Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Okay, it didn't hit anything, but Black Eyed Peas was there, like you said, Arrow. But Yeah, unfortunate for the Ari to flash down in a straight line. Or sorry, the
Yeah,
Syndra
she
flashed out
does.
in a straight line against the
Yeah.
Ari charm and just dies to the gank. So flash invested, but still dies is pretty bad for this immobile mage. Just Trash Panda just taking over the mid lane and likely has the opportunity to take over the game.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it in the start of the game where I had some worries for the Syndra in the early, like once they have no flash. Oh, like right now.
Oh no, worries again are founded. I mean, you're right on the dot there, Arrow, as for the 5th time this game. It's just Trash Panda and Black Eyed Peas putting the beat down on Bingerbonger. He just can't rest a single time. As soon as Trash Panda has the ulti up, they're just sending it straight for the Syndra, who, doesn't even have tier 2 boots, can't actually escape the charm very easily. Doesn't even have the Merc Treads. It's just going to go down there, and that means Black Eyed Peas, with that mid lane dominance that he helps secure, means that they can just run around in Clan Crusher's jungle and take everything. But Zork looking
Oh,
for the
we're
dive,
going in
pops the
here.
dominant. Do they have enough damage? They're burning
Oh.
down quite rapidly, though. Try to flash, but I
Oh,
think they're
good
still going
try.
to die. Yeah, the Crocodile gets a bit too angry. I mean, snaps up the Rumble, but they do die in the process, and that is a shutdown over to Miztaz on the Rumble. Didn't flash there, so it was actually just a trade up on Summoners for a 1-for-1, but now Solar Flare on the bot lane hits the Ash Zenith Blade to follow up, and I think this is just going to be a kill for the side of Cut Teeth as the flash is invested, but White Devil surely, yeah, is going to go down to Prince Jarvan the 4th. Wow, Encore invested there. I'm not sure what that was for. I think it was just to try to follow up from the Ari and the Poppy who are there, but it's warded very well. Tony and Kwanzek, seeing the play on the counter engage, are going to back off of this. Just a nice pick on the Ash, giving the kill to Misfortune, but they're still actually fighting this. They see Black Eyed Peas and they send him away with the Blast Cone. Is Clan Crusher going to go in on this? The Zenith Blade hits, the knockup hits. Does Misfortune have the damage? It's going to be Trash Panda making it here. Hits the charm, hits big damage on Clan Crusher as Black Eyed Peas is not going down. Kwanzek trying to fight the backline. The stun hits on the Ari. The unleashed power not yet used. They have to get it on this Ari as we see the exhaust thrown out. The Ari jumps back in with the Spirit Rush. Not enough damage from the unleashed power to kill Trash Panda as he gets the shield from the Seraphine, and it's just scrapping nonstop in this bot lane as the jungler goes down for Cut Teeth as they try to get the kill but cannot on the Ari and the Poppy. The Renekton also makes the move, so it means Miztaz has some time to farm plates in the top. But, I mean, both teams are looking for blood in this game.
Yeah, I mean, really scrappy team fight there. I mean, I I think that ended up being a 1-for-1 with the initial pick onto the Ashe and then eventually getting the kill onto Jarvan later in that extended team fight there. So overall, a 1-for-1. You know, not too bad for Cut Teeth if they want to look for ways to get back into this game. I think that was a good opportunity to look for a fight. Just unfortunately for them, Trash Panda and Zork TPing in to sway that team fight there. But I kind of need to mention this, but I feel like Yipsy on the Seraphine kind of sold out Ashe there because there was a great pick from Kwanzek to land the solar flare, and then Ashe had flash and everything, but then Yipsy was just standing on the side with that with that ultimate and even
Bingerbonger doesn't manage to get hit by the charm. They dodge it, but they're still taking so much damage from the Spirit Rush. They need to dodge this last orb. The orb's not even needed. It's the Foxfire that just kills the Syndra straight out. This Ahri is so ahead. Has the Sheen looking for the Lichmate and just kills him with the autos with the Foxfire. Bingerbonger did their best to dodge everything, and they pretty much did, but they still die because they're so far behind.
Wait, the entire team is here though.
Kwanzek looking for it, but the enchanting crystal arrow plus the wall stun, the knockback followed up, but it's a huge encore onto 2, and the Renekton is there. The bullet time into the bullet box does big damage, but it doesn't get a kill. The Rumble is now here with the damage as we see finally he goes down. The trade back on the Seraphine for the Misfortune, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 on the side of Cut Teeth, who take out Zork with that big damage of the equalizer, and they take out Yipsy with the bullet time into the the last second Jarvan kill. But now it's a 4v3 on this bot side as they look towards the jungle. They look for the dragon. It's the wall stun onto the Leona, who's taken so low but is very tanky. Miztaz burning them down with the flame spitter. Can they get the kill? It's the flash electro harpoon for the shutdown, and now onto Trash Panda, who has no ultimate, has no flash. Hits the charm as they get burnt down by the flame spitter and they get knocked up. Miztaz is gonna pick them up for a huge shutdown as Fingerbonger is now here. Unleashed power is not enough to kill the Ashe, but that is a massive injection of gold for the Rumble, who turned around the team fight with the equalizer, with the flame spitter. I mean, call it Super Galaxy Rumble because they just were anime superhero in that team fight for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what looked like a pick onto the Misfortune ended up being a great turnaround team fight for the side of Cut Teeth. But this misfortune looked dead on my screen, but then I think the key thing was that Trash Panda, the main damage, one of the main damage dealers on the side of Margaritaville, was not there. And then Zork on the Renekton went down early in the team fight, so then there was the rest of that damage wasn't there because White Devil on the Ashe isn't strong enough yet. They're right now there's still an item behind on this MF at the moment. I think at the time there's still, even-ish, but just Yuntal arrows isn't enough on this Ashe to do enough damage to really shred through some of the members of Cut Teeth. So I think right now they're looking for a pick onto Renekton, but
onto Zork, as we see here. Multiple members taking the White Devil about 60% HP and make it rain for the stun. Solar Flare onto the Ashe, but it gets cleansed. Encore onto 2 cancels bullet time. And now Mistaz gets the first kill, but the Flame Spiller's miracling everyone. Zork goes in the backline. Zonia's pop, the Zork goes down. Can Mistaz survive and do more? No, a huge Keeper's Verdict knocks up 3. As on the other side, Trash Panda just cleaning up the kills with the Spirit Rush. Zork is making so much space for his carries as we see another kill and another kill and another kill go over to Trash Panda on the Ahri for the ace. A beautiful team fight means the Ahri is untouched, killing everyone in the back line, and valiant effort it was from this Rumble, but their drill could just simply not pierce through. These heavens are just too damn high. Mr. Trash Panda, the raccoon, eating everyone. 11 kills on this Ahri, just murks them in the backline. There was so much damage. They one-shot pretty much every single target they touched.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea that Cut Teeth engaged first there, but they engaged on the wrong target. They killed this poor Ashe that's 2-4 and 2, but not onto the, like, I don't think Ahri was in the engage range, so they look to engage onto this Ashe, and they do get the kill onto the Ashe and eventually onto the Seraphine, but Seraphine, before they die, gets a huge encore to interrupt the bullet time, so a lot of the damage from the side of Cut Teeth was negated there. So what was left was an equalizer, which was huge, but at the end of the day, it's who's gonna kill Zork on this Renekton and Trash Panda. Trash Panda was just dancing around the battlefield, and at the end it was just a clean team fight win for the side of Rita, and their prize was that dragon, and then they're back into the driver's seat. So what looked like a big throw from the side of Rita is just a quick turnaround, and back in the driver's seat for Rita, and Cut Teeth is back to looking for ways to get back into the game.
Absolutely. I mean, now they're in the driver's seat. Like you said, it's only about a 3K gold lead, but that is second dragon. That is a lot of money still on the Ahri. I think Cut Teeth just have to play around the win condition of the Wombo combo and not focus on the Ashe, right? That was the bullet time and the Cataclysm both invested on, this 1.5 item 80 carry. That's not that strong.
Yeah.
It is the Ahri that you have to kill, and only the Ahri. If you can, bait out the Spirit Rush, bait out the Flash, and then chain CC her, that is what you need to win this game, as we see scrapping near this control ward. Maybe they'll just die for it. Quanzek looking for a very ambitious Zenith Blade, but now Black Eyed Peas chasing, gets the wall stun after the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but Trash Panda again, I can't say it enough times, they get the solo kill. Clan Crusher is going to pay for their sins of, walking up in the mid-wave as White Devil's now chasing down the Misfortune. The Misfortune actually gets the Flash Farm, but it doesn't actually hit. Now Rumble taking so much damage. Mist has Zhonya's at the perfect time, but I think they're still going to go down as Misfortune does too. The bullet time was not that effective, as it's just going to be Tony lying in their grave. Call it Sopranos, and it's going to be Baron Nashor for the side. Oh my god, the charm actually hits there. But okay, a huge whiff on the orb. I thought that was going to be another kill from Trash Panda. Likely would have been if they just hit that orb in the right direction. But again, Baron Nashor, team fight over in the favor of Rita. They are taking this game home.
Yeah, Baron in the eyes of Rita, and they will claim their prize. But I actually think Cut Teeth had the right idea. They had a small timing window there to take a fight, take a bigger team fight onto Rita while Trash Panda was still bot lane there. And I think Binger Bonger dying there is quite unfortunate. But I think they were trying to keep. Perhaps this is also copium, but also I'm going to say that Binger Bonger was trying to keep Trash Panda in the bot lane so that Cut Teeth could find a 4v3, what looked like at the time, in that mid lane area towards the Baron. But unfortunately, I think Quanzek missed the missed their engage. They weren't able to get to the pick, and then it was just an easy team fight victory because after Trash Panda gets... Oh, wait, we're looking here.
Flag and Dragon to the Cataclysm. Do they have the bullet time? It's not.
Wait, they have
the
flash.
Scan of the Week gets flashed away from the Equalizer from the backside. White Devil just burnt down. The Encore hits 3, but the Unleashed Power kills Yipsy as now the reinforcements arrive. The Zenith Blade onto the Zari, who backs up Kwanzik, now flashing out of the Poppy. It's a 3v5, but Trash Panda still looking for it. Scatter of the Week hits nothing. It's a good pick, but the Charm barely goes wide. The Zenith Blade misses on the Renekton. Mistaz trying to burn them down with the Flame Spitter. The Barbecue was activated, and I mean, the collapse was so good on the Ashe, on the Seraphine. They just see it. They know it's a 2v5, and they just go for it. So nice 2 kills. Stops a bit of the momentum from the side of Republic, as it's going to be, you know, the gold lead not shrinking by a considerable amount, but that's still exactly the type of proactive plays you need to see when you're at a deficit.
Well, for sure, and that great pick onto the Ashe and Seraphine being completely caught out mid lane without their team there, and Trash Panda now forcing their TP out. So now Trash Panda has to group, and
wait, Flag
if they
and
want
Dragon
to be
on
at
Black Eyed
team
Peas, who
fights.
didn't use the Keeper's Vert in time to block it. Clan Crusher, I don't think is going to keep going forward. The Poppy is very quick with that Deadman's, but this is right before the Dragon spawn, and Renekton is still top. No one is matching him. The Rumble is matching the, grouping with the team, so Zork is going to get a lot of work done with that Baron empowered minion wave in the top side, but this is going to be Dragon's point if this is given over. The back goes from Fingerbonger. He has the TP, but now Trash Panda looking for the charm. Misses it on Kwanzik, but holy moly, that is a lot of damage from the Orb of Deception, and now they start the Dragon immediately. I mean, this is very dangerous if you're in a choke point, but the Flag and Drag hits nothing. As we go, we see that Cataclysm onto the backline into the spicy hot pot combo. The bullet time getting the kill onto the Seraphine, but the Keeper's Verdict sends out one. Misfortune now in the middle of a 2v3. And they're just going to die. Zork teleports perfectly in time in the Renekton for the, I don't know how many times this game chomps down on Misfortune as we see the 1v1 on the other side. Mistaz tries to get the kill on the Ahri. The Unleashed Power used on the Poppy to get the kill, but Kwanzik's going to die for his carry's ambition. Trash Panda almost went down there, but Mistaz had to flash out instead of flash forward because the Ashe was there and because they lost 3 members, and Republic of the gamers only lost 2. It's going to be Cut Teeth again, having to seed this dragon. This is sole point for the Republic right now.
Yeah, great. I love the setup there from Rita. I mean, Zork pushing top lane, forcing Cut Teeth to decide, do we go for Dragon or do we have to answer top lane? And they ended up sending Binger Bonger on the Syndra to answer the top lane, but they were late. But Zork was able to finish pushing out their lane, move to a place where they can TP safely and TP to the fight before Binger Bonger was able to and be pivotal in that team fight. So I love the setup there for Rita. They were able to force Cut Teeth to decide to engage onto them before Zork had arrived. But unfortunately, I think they just don't have enough damage right now, and the wallet difference is just too big. So so Cut Teeth, I think they have to keep looking for plays like that, but Rita's just playing the map very well right now, and Trash Panda is super unanswerable on the sides. You can't send Jarvan down to bot lane right now, otherwise you lose pressure top side, and I assume Baron's up in 2 minutes, so maybe you could look for something here, especially since you have a Leona and an MF with you right now. I mean, Trash Panda is kind of pushed really deep, and I think they need to send it onto this Ahri right now. I mean, it looks like they are.
Rewards. I think maybe they can send it here, Arrow. Oh, the stun hits.
Okay.
Orb of Deception thrown out, but they still have the Spirit Rush. They pop the Foxfire. They see the
it's
Jarvan,
hard, though.
who decides to clear the ward. The Spirit Rush is used, dodges the Flag and Drag, but now they're cornered into 3 people as we see now the Syndra trying to kite back, get the kill, and I think the Ahri might actually escape. The Misfortune is there, pops the Blast Cone. Trash Panda does not have no ulti, no flash as they get the charm onto the MF, but she cleanses. The Cataclysm is used to secure the kill, and I think this is going to be Trash Panda going down. The kill goes over to the Syndra, which is big. I mean, they trade. One shut down for top turret, but that enchanted crystal arrow gets the stun. Can Mistaz get the Zhonya's? They do, but they don't have the Flame Spitter active, so they're just gonna die without doing any damage. It's the recall for this top lane push. I'm a bit surprised that Misfortune actually goes back. That could have been mid lane tier 1, opening up the map and getting the bounty, but now the Zenith Blade onto the Renekton, the stun barely dodged out of by the Renekton slice and dice. But, I mean, you trade your top laner and tier 2 over for a massive shutdown over on the Ahri, who did actually burn Flash and ulti and the arm guard, not the fully completed Zhonya's, for the next fight. Maybe that is exactly the angle Cut Teeth need to make an angle in this game.
Yeah, but like you have to the amount of resources that Cut Teeth had to expend to get that kill onto Ari was immense. I do like that Rita did play the other side of the map as Ari was drawing 4 members onto them, so they are able to get the top lane top lane tier 2 like you said, and the bonus is that they got to pick onto Rumble. So I think the overall trade is fairly even. That was a huge shutdown onto the Ari, but it's not looking good. But I think I do agree with MF backing there. I think there was a chance that if MF didn't back, Rita could keep pushing onto that top side. So and at the end of the day, if they do opt to not back and MF is in that mid lane, then MF is in kind of hot water there. So I have to agree with the call to back there. But
Oh,
right now,
tackles
it's really
the wall
hard.
into the follow-up stun from the Seraphine. Yipsy gets the damage. Stun up from Quiznock.
Quanzek
Quanzek, as we see the Scatter of the Week hit the Renekton. Zork is still walking up forward. They know they have the team, and the huge encore hits the Jarvan, but they get sent out a bit. Miscommunicated there. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits the Misfortune, but not enough for the follow-up. The TP invested from Miztaz, but that means the Ari isn't answered. The Equalizer is thrown out. The Seraphine jumps out of it as it's the flash invested by both the bottom laners, but Quanzek goes down to the
on the way now.
As we see on the other side, they're trying to kill Zork fast enough. The flag and drag hits, but it's the TP answer from the Ari, who's now just taking over the fight once again. Trash Panda just dashing onto them with the Spear Rush. There's so much damage from this Ari. The MF tries to trade back, but they don't have the bullets in tow. And it's going to be, I was going to say 4 for 0, but it's going to be a 5 for 1. As, yes, Trash Panda does finally go down, but they trade their life to kill the last remaining member of Cut Teeth. And I think this might be the game end here, Arrow.
I think you're right. This might indeed be the game, and if not, then you get the Baron, and it will be the game by that point. But I mean, 5 seconds on this Leona, and 20 plus seconds or 15 seconds on this Rumble. I think this is definitely the game, and there's not going to be enough to stop. So clean game here for Rita, and Quanzek is going to try, but I don't think there's enough here.
Yeah, I mean, if they just hit the turret, they're just going to hit the Nexus. It's going to be game 1 going over to the Republic of Gamers at Margaritaville. An amazing performance from Trash Panda, just going absolutely nuts on the Ari, destroying Bingerbonger, unfortunately, in lane, who did pick up some kills later, but just could not ever match this Ari in the side. Like 40k damage, 10k
crazy.
above the next highest person being Miztaz's Rumble is massive for the side of Rita, and I think Cut Teeth are just going to want to fight that one back, as they're going to have to think of how they're going to make it to game 3 if they just got a walloping in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, great, huge game from Trash Panda there, getting the early kill onto Jarvan, and then using that blue buff to get get another solo kill onto Bingerbonger on this Syndra, and then just continuing to snowball the game from that point. I mean, there was that one early roam from Leona and Jarvan to shut them down, but unfortunately that didn't sway them at all, and they were just able to keep the pace up, roam around the map, and just help their team win the game. There was some rough moments there for the bot lane of Margaritaville, with White Devil and Yipsy kind of getting picked on by the jungler and support of Cut Teeth. But I think it was just Trash Panda kind of negating some of those advantages that they got by roaming themselves, getting some kills with this Poppy, with this Renekton, and then absolutely carrying team fights together as well. I think there was that dragon fight for Soul Point where they got, or second or third dragon, where they got Cut Teeth were able to kill Ashe and Seraphine, but it was the main carries of Margaritaville are this Ari and this Renekton, and they just completely rolled over that team fight, and the game as well. And so really good game coming out for Margaritaville. Their player hopes are still alive, and they need to secure one more game to secure that, hopefully secure that spot. But for Cut Teeth, I mean, I think flashes of brilliance here and there. I think Mizaz on this Rumble was a pretty bright spot, and they navigated a few early ganks and were able to get some advantages. I mean, they had some decent damage in there in the top lane, but I think it was Clan Crusher on this Jarvan doing things in the river when they didn't have prio, or they didn't have the correct timer too. So they just got caught out from minute 3 or minute 4 when they got that bot lane scuttle. That was not their scuttle to take, unfortunately, and it was Trash Panda and White Devil and Black Eyed Peas just converging on him and killing him for that scuttle. And then there was that one dragon fight where he was trying to take it, but it was just not his timer, unfortunately. So again, I think a few things to clean up here for Cut Teeth. Kind of recognize when you have the timers to do things, and when you don't, and then when and if you do have the timer, then I think they had a few moments where they were on the right timer, where they were first to the dragon, and then they try to engage, but at that point it was just too late in the game, and they were not strong enough. So I think Cut Teeth, if you can clean up that early game, negate some of these early advantages that Margaritaville got from early skirmishes. I think they have a chance to to come back into the series and even it up for sure. But Margaritaville looking really good so far.
Margaritaville looking very strong, like you said, Arrow. I think if just some final thoughts before I think we jump to a quick break before draft. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Margaritaville looks strong. I think the mid jungle disparity was kind of what decided the game, especially in the early game. Like you said, Clan Crusher just not have really respecting that they didn't have prio in the
Hmm.
lanes, no vision, just starting the dragon. A
Hmm.
bit too dangerous for my liking in a
For
playoff game
sure.
like that, right?
Yeah.
But 100% agree with you, and I think, slow it down, right? We saw
Yeah.
such good team fight picks, I think led by, Kwanzaa on the Leona. They had such good angles, and they found the late game picks. Maybe if the wallet disparity just wasn't that large, that could have been, if that turnaround in the games we saw,
For
great
sure.
picks, great team fights from the Leona kind of leading the charge. But, the target focusing on the Ashe Seraphine that are already kind of behind when the Ahri is the main problem is a bit hard,
Yeah.
right? So I know
Yeah.
you want to go for the easy squishy target, but ultimately you do have to lock down that key carry, right? That is your job
Hmm.
as, the Jarvan Leona. So we're gonna have to see how it goes in game two. Hopefully, Cut Teeth can bring it back, but if not, I mean, Rita are probably very happy to get a clean 2-0 to make it to playoffs. Yeah, any final thoughts, Arrow, before we jump to a quick break before the next draft?
No, I think we're doing so good, and or we're doing good so far. I really love. I love that we had a normal game. Like no surprises in draft, very even draft across the board, and I mean I loved seeing Trash Panda just pop off on this Ari. We don't get to see that very often in Team Builders. So I'm really loving what I'm seeing so far, and I can't wait for more.
Absolutely, yeah. So for everyone who's still watching us and enjoyed game one, we hope you stick around for games two, possibly game three, if Cut Teeth can bring it back. As Arrow and I are going to jump to a quick break. Yeah, just keep watching after the break, and we'll bring you some great League of Legends. This is Winter Division, Bamis Team Builder. We'll be back very soon. Hello, hello, fans of Risen Esports. We are back at it. Kevin Dunk, Three Eyes, and Aerostion with game two of tonight's match between Gamers Republic of Margaritaville, or Rita, and Cut Teeth after what was a pretty nasty game one. I mean, the Republic kind of ran it because Trash
Ooh,
Panda on the Ari made it look easy. As we're going to jump straight into the draft for game two, it's going to be, I believe, the blue side being picked by. Oh, my stream is
cut
down,
teeth.
but it's
Cut
yeah,
teeth.
Cut Teeth.
Yeah.
Cut Teeth is on blue side. Thank you, Arrow.
Yeah.
And
Cut
Rita
teeth.
going to be on red, maybe looking to leverage that R5 counter pick, which they did not get in game one, but it's going to be Zahan instantly picked and the Caitlyn
Ooh.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know your thoughts on what we were seeing in the draft so far.
Okay, so I'm pretty confident that this Zahen is for Clan Crusher in the jungle here. They have like 19 games of ranked played with for this Zahen, their most by far. So I think they've been spamming this champion. So I think this is one of their more comfortable champions in today in this season. So I'm pretty excited to see what Clan Crusher can do after that interesting game one. But on the flip side for Rita, White Devil getting their 300k mastery Caitlyn, so I'm pretty happy to see that. And then Echo, I believe is gonna be the jungler is in the jungle for Black Eyed Peas. Could be wrong, could be Trash Panda. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty excited. But oh, Mel getting picked here. Okay,
Okay.
I like it. I like it. I mean, Mel did get gutted a patch or two ago, but I think she's still pretty frustrating to deal with if you're a ranged champion. And with some knowledge from my draft league team, I've heard that Mel is a menace to deal with if you are a Caitlyn, and the Rise is gonna be locked in here. So I'm assuming this is gonna be Rise for Binger Bonger in the mid lane. So Rita getting the pick of the litter here for counter picks in the mid lane if they want to do that right now to avoid some of the bans. But if this Rise is indeed mid lane, then it would suggest that this Mel is going to be a support in the bot lane for Cut Teeth here.
Yeah, one thing I do want to mention though, Arrow, is that Mel could be flexed to the AD role as a counter to the
Mm,
Caitlyn. Like you
that is
said, I mean,
true.
it's a really good matchup into
That's
the
true.
Caitlyn, and we saw in the past weekend, Cloud9, if anybody still watches the LCS, actually
Yeah.
picked that as a bot lane pick, right? Sven did decide to
Oh.
go for it in the bot lane, and it was pretty effective. And like you said, a good matchup into the Caitlyn, has the way to block the Echo's time winder. I think this might
Hmm.
actually be a Rise support, bot lane, but we'll have to see as we get later into the draft, as it's going to be Annie locked in. So some snap engage there from Rita to really
Yeah.
engage when they need to. Yeah, looking at these picks, we're seeing some supports being banned out against both teams because neither side has got that yet. Any thoughts on these champions so far, Arrow? I mean, I think Zahen is just a bit overtuned, but after hitting
Yeah.
1.5 items, he just feels unkillable. But there
Yeah.
is a lot of burst on the side of Rita, so maybe that's their answer into it.
For sure. I mean, I think you are right. Zahen is very, very strong. But on the side of Rita, they have a lot of the right. Even with just Annie, they have a lot of tools to just like keep him at a distance. Zahen is really strong when he can hit you, but if he can't touch you, then he can't get that passive. He can't get the healing. He can't get a lot of what his kit wants to do. So, but the problem is usually keeping him away, right? But with Annie, with the stun, and then Caitlyn trap on top of it, I think they have some tools to kite around the Zahen and pop him before he can get that revive, right? But I do I do have to agree with you with some of your sentiment where Zahen is very, very strong. But so far with I do like the call out for Mel. I mean, I would check to see if Tony or Kwanzek have mastery on this champion, but Tony's OPGG is just all Zaya, and I'm not gonna scroll that far. So right now, Ornn gonna be locked in here. I don't like it when they have a Mel. Your Forge God just gets kind of reflected, and you kind of lose your big ultimate tool. But it's just a solid blind top lane. But they're gonna save support R5, which is very interesting.
Whoa, that's a
Ooh.
pick.
Okay. Okay. Akshan is I think this is top lane Akshan because Miztaz has games of Akshan, like a lot of games of Akshan actually. So the Akshan Ornn matchup will be very interesting to me. I I I'll be very surprised if this goes bot lane because I don't think I've ever seen Akshan in the AD carry role. But this is gonna be my first game of Akshan. Oh my, what? Oh god. Okay. Whoa, a lot of picks going on right
Yeah,
here. So
game
I
1 was
I
standard arrow, and we're
game
getting
one,
very far
yeah,
from standard
yeah,
in
yeah.
game 2.
We got the dichotomy of drafts here. So okay. If you are correct, this is a Mel APC, and then this is a Maokai support, and Akshan top, Rise mid, and Zahen jungle. So on the side of Cut Teeth, they're going full. I love this draft. I love it. I mean, this is a lot of. There's a lot of comfort on the side of Cut Teeth, and then Rita actually don't have like they have a pretty standard draft. I think this is a pretty easy, like clear cut draft. I mean, the Echo is interesting. I mean, I Echo's really strong with that new Dawn and Dusk item, of course. So I have been getting one shot by that thing, and it's not very fun. But the beefy members on the side of Rita are going to be really like it's going to create some hard. Cut Teeth have to punch through these members of Rita, but as I was saying earlier, Zahen wants to hit you and build that passive. You just kind of gave him Ornn and Alistar to hit. So I mean, again, Alistar can knock you up, can knock you away, and in theory, prevent the Zahen from getting getting those determination stacks and getting that revive. But more melee champions into Zahen is a questionable thing for me. But if they can CC out this Zahen before they can get popped, then I think this Zahen is going to be not having a good time. And but I do really like this Maokai, the Maokai being able to just like press R to start any fight. So but I don't know how this team fight composition works. There's a lot of moving parts that I'm not super familiar with, but this Mel pick has a lot of value. I think just in the fact that they can kind of reflect a lot of what Caitlyn wants to do and reflect this big Ornn ultimate, right? So I think Rita their main engage tool will be any big Annie like Flash ultimate or Ornn Forge God ultimate, but I think with Mel the Ornn isn't going to be able to start many team fights unless they can force Mel to use that reflect early and win the team fight out from there on, right? But I mean both teams yeah, not definitely a big swap from game 1, like you were saying, Kevin.
Absolutely. And I kind of love it. Like Cut Teeth, did get cut down in that first game.
Mm,
And,
yep.
if it's your last game possibly of the whole season, why not just full send with like the most
Right.
insane comp that you can possibly
Yeah.
get? Like play your comfort, get crazy with it because, you've seen, this is
Mhm.
usually throughout like a longer series, but you've seen that you can't win in that straight 5v5 team comp, bruiser jungle, kind of control mage mid, standard lanes. Go
Right.
crazy and just like pick something unorthodox because it's very likely that you understand your champions and your matchups better than your opponent, right?
Yeah.
Pick the Akshan top, pick the Zahen, pick the Mel bot because your opponent will be like, oh, what do I do? Do I win these trades? Do I win this matchup?
Right.
Their lack of experience is your advantage, and you really need some sort of advantage if you're going into your possible last game of the season. So I'm a
Right.
big fan of it. I mean, I don't know how good their team comp is because it's a lot of solo queue picks from what I can see. But I mean,
Right.
Akshan is very strong champion. I think at all stages of the game, he does kind of hit a power trough after first item, but 2 item Akshan and onwards is terrifying. Zahen, same deal. Rise once he hits 2 to 3 items is very scary. And I think if they can not get run over. I think Cut Teeth have a very good chance if they make it to the late game because their champions scale so well in
Yeah.
comparison to Rita, right? I'd much rather
That's
have a
true.
late game Rise and Zahen compared to like a late game Annie and Echo. But
Mhm.
one thing about Rita is that their early game was very, very potent, right? That's how they got the
Yeah.
advantages is from the early laning, from the early roams, from the mid jungle pressure. So it's going to be them wanting to get the beat down and continuing that trend from game 1 over to game 2 to kind of shut out this series because, yeah, I just don't know if they'll be confident in taking those late game fights against such strong scaling champions. Yeah, we're seeing that draft is just about closing up here. Arrow, any final thoughts from you on this very fun draft in game 2 before we jump
I
to a
mean,
break?
Just a few things. I mean, like, I think, yeah, I do have to agree that cut teeth have some really good scaling, but you can't really you can't sleep on the ornaments. I think ornaments do provide a lot of good stats, and I think Caitlyn in the late game can outrange some of these champions. But speaking of outranging, I mean, cut teeth do have some really short. They don't have a lot of long. They don't have a lot of range. Mel does provide that long range. Maokai can build some space, but Akshan and Rise attacking range is Annie engage and Alistar engage. So I do have to fear for Cut Teeth being able to dish out some damage without getting CC'd or without getting popped from an Alistar Annie combo and into an Echo, right? So if Cut Teeth can navigate around these engage tools and the range that and the threat that Annie and Alistar do provide, then I think they do have more damage on their side. But if they can't, if they just get popped by an Annie or popped by an Alistar, then so who cares about how much damage you have? But what I'm actually excited though is like in theory, if one of these members of Cut Teeth do get popped by Annie or get popped by Alistar, Akshan revives them by killing one of the person who killed them. So in theory, that might get negated, and I've never really experienced what Akshan revival outside of ARAM, right? So this will be an interesting. This will be very very interesting to see the Akshan revive in an SR game. So I'm pretty excited for the game, and I'm ready to get into the game.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that arrow. For everyone watching, we're going to be back after a quick break as we wait for the spectator delay to catch up. It is Cut Teeth, maybe their final game of this season, coming out big with, in a crazy team comp, like you said, Arrow. Rita looking to put them down in this game, too, with a very standard comp. And yeah, it's going to be unorthodox versus orthodox, Cut Teeth versus the Republic. Let's see who wins out in game two. You'll find out very soon after we get through the break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back fast. Hello, everyone here watching Risen Esports Winter Team Builder. It's Bamis division because we are getting spicy. Kevin Dunk on play-by-play, Aerosteon on color, and Three Eyes on production as we jump into possibly the last game for the side of Cut Teeth if they do not win this one. And they're looking to pull out every single pick from their pocket because it is Miztaz on the Akshan, Clan Crusher on the Zahen, Tony on the Mel, 80 carry, AP carry, not even a marksman, Kwanzik on the Mayokai, and Bingerbonger on the Rise. Can they bring it back against Republic, who did have such a great game one?
Yep, that is the question. Can they bring it back? I mean, Binger Bonger does need a little bit of a bounce back game, and there are going to be on Rise, so they're going to have the same champion, same type of champion where they're going to have a little more, pressure on them to kind of perform on their champion, right? But as we're looking at bot lane here, I mean, I'm curious to if you have any thoughts, Kevin. I mean, I imagine that Mel is just gonna, poke these. I imagine Mel's just gonna have the poke in lane and get pushed naturally. But right now, it looks like it's a lot more even with the longer cooldowns of Mel in the early game, not being able to clear waves as fast as possible.
I mean, I think this is actually a really good counter pick. Mel can outrange the Caitlyn when she walks up for CS by throwing out that Radiant Volley. And I didn't even think about this with Konzik on the Mayokai. If he throws a sapling in the bush and the Caitlyn tries to walk in for the bonus headshot stacks, you get hit with the sapling, but now an early level 2 engage. But the slow, I mean, keeps White Devil out, right? Like, and Tony can keep from range. If you want to trade against them, you just get traded back by the volley. And I mean, the early CS lead already happening for Tony. I mean, he might have some mana troubles later on, but looking really good so far with this 2v2 matchup.
Yeah, crucially, as well as that Zahen started bot lane, so they're going to be pathing up to top lane to help out this Akshan potentially. So no help going to be coming for the side of Tony and Kwanzek, but right now it looks like they're doing good. CS is even throughout the lanes, and I'm actually curious because Clan Crusher did back for an early longsword, so they're going to have a little more damage here, a little more of an advantage going into this scuttle crab if they get contested there. But I think with both junglers, both junglers getting an early back here, but like both junglers going to be pathing to the opposite side, so it's likely just going to be a trade of scuttle crabs, and then it's going to be whoever gets that third scuttle crab 6 minutes into the game is going to get that level 6 first. So right now, nothing too spicy so far. I mean, I think Clan Crusher is ahead on the clear right now, so they do have a chance to get this top scuttle and then go down bot to contest for that scuttle crab if they so please. And right now, I mean, it looks like the pressure. Tony and Quantic do have push, but the pressure of Yipsy on this Alistar is scaring them. So we'll have to keep an eye out and see if Tony and Kwanzaa can get this prio and so that Clan Crusher can double scuttle, because right now it looks like they could, but I think they might just opt to go get their Raptors, not knowing that Black Eyed Peas is a little bit late on their clear right now.
I mean, I think this is a really good, off-meta kind of comp even from the side of Cut Teeth. I mean, we'll see how it works out in like the later game team fights when things get a little bit unorthodox, but think about it, right? Like Kwanzaa can take the poke and heal up with the passive. Tony can outrange, and if you try to walk in the bush where you get the pressure from the Alistar Caitlyn, the sapling scouted out. And, the pushing lane in top for Mistaz means the Zahen's not scared of an invade. The pushing lane for Rise as well, right?
Nothing.
And then Black Eyed Peas and Trash Panda, who kind of ran game one, don't really have the prio to make the same plays game two. So this is a really good mid-game adaptation from them, I feel. Arrow, I'm just a big fan of this, as we see an engage on the bot lane. Kwanzaa knocking them back. Gypsy actually taking quite low, but so is Kwanzaa, who has to flash out. Solar Snare hitting onto Gypsy, who invests the heal. So heal exchanged for the flash, a bit longer for Kwanzaa, and won't have that for a potential flash twisted advance. Means I think the winning side is still Rita, but I mean, it's looking pretty even, and Tony on this AP carry is just going to want to wait and scale, and is going to hit those early power spikes just much faster due to, the cost efficiency of mage items compared to the AD carry ones.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
And Bingerbonger getting very aggressive. Flash out from Trash Panda. Bingerbonger feeling much more comfortable on this matchup, forcing out the Annie's flash super early. And, if that's a Zahen gank, that's going to be a flashless Annie, very easy to gank.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Binger Bonger looking a lot better into this matchup. I mean, thankfully, the enemy mid laner doesn't have blue buff, so not able to get punished there. So, I mean, I think Annie probably going to be losing a lot of early trades onto this Rise just from just consistent DPS, you know. But I think with as they hit level 6 right now, and as Black Eyed Peas is looking to be a little more proactive on the map, Binger Bonger is going to have to be a little more careful without their flash. I mean, same case from the Syndra. When they have their flash, they're going to be safe from the ganks. But as soon as Annie drops Tibbers and they have to force they force flash. Any ganks from that point on is just going to be a nightmare for this Rise to try and survive. So right now, so far so good. I mean, Yipsy on this Alistar did look for a roam here that they might look to burn flash, but I think nothing too important here in the mid lane. I think Yipsy is just trying to get that push out in mid lane to get some prior in mid so that maybe they can go contest this dragon. But right now, I mean, some trading in the top lane, but Tony and Kwanzek are getting that push in bot lane and, denying the chance for Margaritaville to get that dragon right for now. But right now, looks like they're looking for a play onto Kwanzek. I mean, Echo is here. Tony's in trouble,
Wait.
though.
Can
Might
Tony
have
get
to
out
flash.
of range from the headbutt pulverize? They hit the solar snap perfectly. The ward is a bit too late. Black Eyed Peas has to back off the play, and that's huge. That's the sapling difference, baby. Kwanzek on the Mayokai. I think they had a great game one on the Leona. The sapling spots out the Echo, gets Tony out of range, and in this pretty even matchup, Caitlyn's not getting ahead, not getting plates. I think they're going to be
no
at a
flash.
bit of a deficit
Kwanzek
now. Headbutt pulverize. Kwanzek actually goes back in with the twisted advance, has the aftershock for a lot of tankiness, so they barely take any damage from that trade. I think they out-traded the Echo, actually. A bit OP, if I do say so myself, but nice job from them, wasting the Echo's time. There's time for the Zahen to collapse. Same with the Rise, as we're going to see maybe a 4v4 in this bot lane very early. Kwanzaa getting the twisted advance, the knockback. The Echo doesn't have the ultimate, but oh my god, they just insta-killed the Mayokai who didn't have Aftershock, but now level 6 on the Zahen, they're doing so much damage. Grim Deliverance does the damage, and Tony executes him with the stacks of the Searing Brilliance. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. It is going to be mid laner for support, but I think control of the Dragon. Oh yeah, Black Eyed Peas is going back, but they don't see it, but it's still Dragon over to nobody, as maybe Black Eyed Peas not going back yet. Flash to get out of the headbutt pulverize combo. Tony having to invest that to make sure they don't die to the Echo who was coming back. And Zahen goes back to farm, but the Echo goes back for the play, and they secure Dragon control off of that.
Yeah, great call there, Kevin. And crucially, from the earlier play of trying to get Kwanzek doesn't have Aftershock for the engage onto the Echo, and I like the idea there for Kwanzek, but wait,
I don't think they can kill this fast enough. Black Eyed Peas is still not level 6, while the Zahen is. Just an advance on the Echo. The knockback is effective, but the heal is used. Flash for the knockup. Can they get the kill on the Echo? They burst down the Zahen fast enough, but the Mel is here for the execute. Now Rise is trying to trade back against the Caitlyn.
She's gonna die to Dragon! Barrier!
Tony, who's just eating the Dragon's auto attacks. Tony with the rebuttals a bit too late, as Binger Bonger now trying to run from Yipsy on the Alistar. Has to use the flash, so it's a 2-for-1. They can't kill the Echo fast enough, and the Zahen just does not have the ult or the enough stacks to get back in there. Doesn't have the revive. So in the end, Dragon still goes to no one, and 2 kills go over, 1 to the Echo and 1 to the Caitlyn. That's exactly what you want on your AD carry, but the Mel finishing the full Ludens Echo is big.
Yeah, crucially, during that entire time where Black Eyed Peas was looking for the play onto the bot lane, Clan Crusher was just farming, and he was able to get level 6 off of all of those, off of the the entire timer of Black Eyed Peas looking for an engaged bot lane. So they were able to
cut you off your arrow, as we see here, scrapping here. The Ornn is a bit out of position, but Miztaz, I don't think they can try to get the kill here, but the Echo is quickly collapsing. It's going to be a 2v4 in this top side, as Rise is here, Mayokai is here. The timer from that extra support means they're going to secure these grubs. Echo looking for the parallel conversion, but can't get it. It's going to be grubs secured by the side of Cut Teeth off of that support roam.
Yeah, I mean, good play there. I mean, they opt to not fight for the dragon, use their top lane prio from Akshan there to secure the grubs, and this is going to be really good for Akshan, who's doesn't have a huge CS lead, but I mean, I'm sure with the plating that they've got, they have a decent gold lead here. But it looks like we're like
Trash Panda walking up, but now Kwanzaa is here for the disruption. Nice Bramble Smash onto 2. Trash Panda taking the losing end of that trade, and they invest the Tibbers. That is a big cooldown for this early game. And the Rise just walked out of that one for free. I mean, that is just a positive trade completely for Cut Teeth, getting the Annie's ulti for pretty much no health traded back. Bingerbonger in a great place here because the Annie is out of mana, has to try to shove this wave, but Bingerbonger is almost full HP. They can take the fight back, but now Kwanzaa getting jumped on by the Alistar, headbutted back. The trap placed.
Nice
it traps
trap.
the Maokai, who gets
Okay.
into the net. Kwanzaa has to flash out. Can Tony block this? They do.
Blocked
Rebuttal not used, but I mean, the Maokai survives with the flash. I mean, Yipsy doing some very aggressive engages on that means that the Alistar is going to not get the kill, but now on the top side, the flash call of the Forge God out of that. Mistaz is trying to kite this one out. Can he get the kill? The flash into the auto attack after the brittle proc. Can Mistaz get out? He barely dodges it with the heroic sting, and now charging up the comeuppance, but I think it's going to get blocked by the minions. He barely lives. Zork on 1 HP, Mistaz on about 10, as these top laners are trading heavily. They want the kills on each other, but neither are going to get it.
Wow, what a lot of action going on around the map. I mean, Miztaz almost going down to the Ornn there. I mean, a lot of missed abilities on the side of. I mean, if Zork lands Forge God, I think they kill Miztaz there. But looks like they're looking for a play here.
They don't. Solar Snare hits onto the Caitlyn for big damage. Golden Eclipse invested
oh
too.
my
White Devil
God.
goes down to the Searing. Brilliance, as Tony really is brilliant this game. 3 kills on the Mel. The Ludens doing that little bit extra damage to secure it, and it's going to be Kwanzaa and Tony for the first time this game having complete control of this bot side, as Black Eyed Peas is trying to look for a play. They throw out the parallel convergence. They throw out the Time Winder, but Kwanzaa is unfazed. They're just going to walk up on this Echo, who goes for the play, does damage, but the Aftershock into the root. Big damage. The exhaust used. Chrono Shift activated, but now Black Eyed Peas is going to go down. The Tibbers used to kill Kwanzaa on Maokai, but now Trashbana has nowhere to go. The root, actually, they don't actually root
TP's
there.
in, TP's in.
And it's the TP from both sides. As we see, Givens makes it back to the play faster. Huge Grim Deliverance on the 3 members. Can they get more kills? Clan Crusher is fully stacked on that passive. They need to get the kill on the Zork. They get the first one. Bingerbarger runs down the Annie with the autos for 2 kills. It's a 2 for 3 so far. As it's going, oh, sorry, it's just a 1 for 3. As only Tony died there. Big team fight for the side of Cut Teeth. And Ornn invested the TP while Mistaz is on top. He's going to collect so many plates, so much farm here as the Ornn is still dead and has no TP. This is so big for the side of Cut Teeth. With the grubs, they get more plates on mid and top, and they don't even lose the dragon.
Yeah, I thought the TP's in was going to be a huge turnaround play there for Margaritaville, but unfortunately, this Ornn just gets shredded. I mean, he's building armor into this Akshan, which is great in that lane, but then he's TPing into 2 AP champions of Mel and Rise, so he's just going to get absolutely destroyed there. And from the previous fight, he didn't have Forge God, so then what is this Ornn going to do? Nothing. So unfortunately, he goes down, and then it's just a clean team fight win there for the side of Cut Teeth. And at the start of it, it was you know, a huge pop onto White Devil on this Caitlyn, but right now it looks like they want more.
Onto Kwanzaa, who gets the Aftershock proc, but Clan Crusher is here, gets the drag back on the Echo, who does have the ulti. Searing volley misses into the Chrono Shift, and now Trashman is here with the stun, with the Tibbers. Clan Crusher taken very low, but a huge root from the Mel, and now on the backside, it's the Rise. It's going to be Bingerbonger trying to look for kills. A great Realm Warp to stop the play, as it's going to be just a 4v5, or sorry, 4v4 scrap in the bot side. Everyone burns ulti. A lot of people burn their flash, but nobody goes down. As we see, Call the Forge got to disengage. Zork hits both ends, but he's still on the losing end of that trade because Miztaz, with that Blade of the Ruin King, is starting to shred him. Great itemization pickup from the Akshan. He's just winning out these trades, has a 20 farm lead, and is likely going to take this turret now that Zork had to back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the more could happen out of that bot lane fight, but it's just so much. There's a lot of scrambles down here in the bot lane. I mean, Black Eyed Peas has been looking down here in this bot lane for most of this game, and I think he's just losing so much on the map right now. I mean, the CS difference right now, and the level lead that that Clan Crusher has generated just by farming and just by power farming in the jungle is building right now. So right now it looks like Clan Crusher is on the dragon. I like this timer. He does have, you know, the priority here in the bot lane finally. So first dragon of the game in 14 minutes is a little bit late, but I mean, hey, a dragon is a dragon. So I mean, this game is going to be delayed for a while if both teams want to stack the soul and get to you know, Elder and, you know, the game winning stuff. But right now, for now, you know, I think, you know, you mentioned it in the start of the draft. You know, I think that's kind of what they want this game to go late. But right now, I mean, they're doing pretty well. I think this is not gonna amount to much. But I mean, I'm watching what Rita's doing. They want to punish this Maokai, this Mel here in the bot lane, but I think Cut Teeth are just answering too well right now to the play, and they can't punch through this Maokai who has aftershock seemingly every time that they engage onto him. So this is all before he finishes his support item and finishes some of his other items. So right now, I mean, this Maokai feeling like a really good pick, and this Mel is just scaling for free right now. All the while,
Tibbers invested Pearl Belt. The stun is ready, but Kwanzek is here on the Maokai. Flash twisted advance for the knockback. Can Bingerbarger get the kill? The exhaust is used.
The exhaust is huge.
The ultimate invested as well from the Maokai, and Bingerbarger's picking up, pick that one up, but Tony blocks the ace in the hole with the rebuttal and barely walks out of the parallel convergence. Will they live this? They hit the searing volley into the golden eclipse. That's big damage, as it's going to be not enough on the bot side. The counterplay is not good enough to get the kill on the Mel, and the Rise Maokai get it mid. Trash Panda has no TP, and now the Maokai is walking back. I don't think they can protect this turret, but that isn't the first turret because Akshan was on the top side and got that one already. Rift Herald, I think, was secured by the Zahen. Cut Teeth, I mean, with this late game focused comp, I think they're doing really great in the early game. They're at a 2.5k gold lead, and all of their solo lanes are in a great spot to carry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good play from Kwanzek to get the kill onto Trash Panda on this Annie, shutting them down and kind of shoving them out of this game, honestly. And then it's not good that unfortunately, I think I love the dive onto the Mel, but unfortunately, they just don't have the damage. And with that reflect, Ace and Hole gets reflected back onto this Caitlyn, and it's just an overall map winning play for the side of Cut Teeth. I love that Clan Crusher was in the top side getting that Herald, and now they can use that to leverage pressure in mid lane to secure them the next dragon if they so please. But yeah, right now not everything looking pretty good for Cut Teeth. A 3k gold lead when you're the comp that wants to scale and everything. I think they're doing pretty good right now.
Kwanzaa getting a bit too aggressive here. I think they used the aftershock, but they don't get trapped up. Nice job from them to kind of walk out of it. They have the Trailblazer, meaning they are very fast. They go for the slow. It's actually a flash. Excuse me, from White Devil to get out of that. I don't think that would have knocked up, but they know someone is lurking in the wings, and that's Tony and Miztaz, both on these ranged carries. They're looking for the tier 1 turret mid. They pop the Rift Herald. Clan Crusher going very far forward, but Yipsy getting the flash into the knockup, into the pulverize, but the Deliverance keeps the Zahen safe. Can they survive this? The ace in the hole is blocked by Kwanzaa again, has the aftershock. The Herald charges in a second time as the fire back from this Mel is just way better. Oh my god, the root into the golden eclipse gets the kill. Zork did not see that root, and they're gonna go down. Tony with the alley-oop. A great play from them to see the angle and the kill. As like you said, Arrow, this this Ornn is papered to the Mel because they've only built armor so far. A great siege from the side of Cut Teeth to put them further ahead in gold, in objectives, in map control. They are looking strong in this game too.
Yeah, I think Margaritaville are kind of they're playing a little too confident right now. I mean, I don't think they realize how far down they are, and it's just Cut Teeth just walking at them and killing them. Unfortunately, I think Rita needs to try and find ways to slow this game down, get some more items on the side of your team. I mean, because of the nature because of when the first dragon went down, this game is going to go pretty long if you just let
Black Eyed Peas actually going forward with that phase dive. Has to chrono shift back, but Kwanzaa is in the perfect place with that ultimate, and now Clan Crusher is here doing big damage. Kwanzaa goes down, but they trade back on Black Eyed Peas. The root barely misses. The heal invested from Yipsy as he gets rooted up. He's not going to burn the Unbreakable Will. He already used it as the TP from the Akshan in the backline. Gets booted back by the Headbuck. As he's here, Trash Panda trying to fight back, but Miztaz with the comeuppance. A huge Grim Deliverance on the backline. White Devil's trying to run away, fully stacked on that cultivation, and on the backside, Tony blasts them with that Radiant Volley. Bingerbonger gets the kill on that one. The kill credit goes to whoever the hell they want, because Cut Teeth just win the team fight 4-for-1. I mean, the Maokai sacrificed themselves, but that is a damn good death because 4 kills get picked up. Money onto the key carries, and Cut Teeth are looking explosive in this game too with a 6.5k gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, questionably they don't stay around to get their prize, which is the dragon. So I mean, I assume they all reset to run straight to dragon there, and with Kwanzaa on the map, they're gonna get some vision there. So I do hope that they get the dragon at the end of the day. But right now it's a 7k gold deficit at 19 minutes. So right now, Cut Teeth can do whatever the hell they want. Right, they are fully scaled. I mean, there's so much damage on the side of on their side, and this Mel is just free firing in the back line. So,
Wait, Mistaz jumping onto the Caitlyn as he gets the heroic swing, but it can't do enough damage as we see Clan Crusher fighting this Alistar who's taking so much damage from the Mel, and the Zahan is going to have the trample, but is he going to die to the ultimate? He is. Golden Eclipse from those stacks built up, and now Quanzek is looking for more, has the movement speed from the Trailblazer. White Devil fires back with some headshots, but it's just not enough to deal meaningful damage to this Zahan, who's on 2 items. This is the power spike you want on this champion, as he gets jumped on by the phase dive, but Black Eyed Peas went a bit too far over the wall. Has to jump out. Mistaz is here for the backup. On the bot side, it is Bingerbonger getting the bot lane tier 1. And, I mean, full control of this game. It's Cut Teeth looking so much more comfortable on these champions, playing the map how they want to.
Wow, they are posturing very aggressively, and they can with this giant gold lead. I mean, Rita just keep playing so just
maybe a bit too aggressively. They get the aftershock, they get the knockback, they're trying to disengage, and they actually walk out of that one. A huge steering charge onto 2 though as Quanzek flashes out. Chrono Shift used to get away as we see Tony's just blasting them. The Ornn is pretty much paper as the rebuttal blocks the ace in the hole for the kill. It's just a beautiful sequence of events for the side of Cut Teeth as they're the ones now chomping down on the opportunity. That is so many kills on the side. The Ornn not there anymore, the Caitlyn not there anymore, and that's going to be Baron buff for Cut Teeth in what is, again, just a great Game 2 showing.
No way, you're Caitlyn ulting the Mel right there. I mean, Caitlyn, I guess, was low enough for that ace in the hole to come reflect back and kill them in the end. But yeah, Cut Teeth are just rolling over this game. I mean, they do not care where Rita are on the map. If they see you on their screen, they will kill you. And oh my god, wait, is this a... Wait.
Oh my god, this might be a steal attempt. It gets stolen! Clan Crusher, what are you doing? He decided that he was too low and he just decided to walk away from it. I get that the Baron is low and you want your team to finish it, but that was the angle maybe that Rita needed. That is a huge throw, I think. That is objective bounty over. That is Baron buff to stop the push. I mean, maybe that doesn't mean much in the late game, but that is still, I think, a pretty big bounty and objective for the side of Rita to maybe have an angle back.
Okay, well, I mean, Rita, they at least won't lose in the next 2 minutes. That is their prize.
But Trash Panda just doesn't have the damage. Bingerbonger just takes half health from the full combo, but is not going to die there. He's so tanky with those 2 items as it's a 0-4 Annie into a 3-0 Rise. Not much they can do. I mean, the Baron is doing more damage than the Annie likely. But, I mean, yeah, like you said, Arrow, not going to lose within the next 5 minutes. I mean, I think Cut Teeth are wanting to have that one back, but I think they're still very, very strong in the team fights. Most carries on 2 items. As the Mel is on 3, they have to take the fights while they're at an advantage. They can't get too cocky with their lead.
Yeah, I think unfortunately with some of the new season changes, Baron isn't as strong as it used to be. So the getting a steal and the buff itself isn't.
Wait, the gank onto the Annie. The Trash Panda has no way to run. They get flashed, but they do the same thing that killed them in game 2 as they flash in a straight line and go down.
They got Mel
though. Backside going down and Bingerbonger getting chased down. The ace in the whole block, but Quanzek gets the root onto the Caitlyn. Called the Forge got activated, but it's not reactivated in the right place as we see the Zahan getting run down. But Clan Crusher is so strong. It's him and Bingerbonger trying to fight back. Clan Crusher has the full stack. Comeuppance onto the Caitlyn. It's going to get secured by Quanzek and the smite onto the autos. The Q1, Q2 gets the kill as Clan Crusher crushes them. Quanzek with the knockback and the CC. The bellows nothing as it's going to be the cleanup crew from this Rise, from this auction with the TP. Beautiful team fight to collapse. I mean, you kill Tony, but he's got so many more Mafia members in return as it's going to be this bot side getting closed down on. The Baron buff completely wiped away other than this Alistar. Great team fight from the side of Cut Teeth to know they can take the fight.
Yeah, throw away everything I was going to say about Baron if you don't. It doesn't matter if you don't have the Baron buff anymore. So, yeah, a clean team fight win there for Cut Teeth there. I mean, Tony does go down. I think it was a good pick from Rita there to get this Mel off the map, but unfortunately the rest of the team not able to punch through this Zahan, punch through this Maokai being so just sneaky tanky with that aftershock, right? But I do have to criticize this Annie build. I'm pretty sure Hextech Proto Belt isn't the build anymore, and I don't think Proto Belt does enough damage right now. But at the same time, it might not have mattered in the end of the day. But
Oh, Kwanzaa going
Ooh.
in, gets the knockback on the Echo. Black Eyed Peas taken
Uh-oh.
so low from one.
Uh-oh.
Searing Volley as the ulti is cast, but it gets blocked by
Oh.
the parallel
Oh.
conversion.
Okay.
Kwanzaa is going to go down here because they just
Trash
took too
Panda
much damage and
is
didn't have
dead.
Aftershock, but he's going to be traded back for Trash
Uh-oh.
Panda and the Alistar. Yipsy flashes over the wall, uses the Unbreakable Will to get out of there, but that is just... I mean, you invest everything to kill one guy, and it's just the support, and you have to use everything to get out. Tony is just so damn dangerous on the Mel. That was one Q half-healthing the Echo and just getting obliterated as they're going to get that third dragon with that lead. I mean, just another big fight for Cut Teeth pushing their lead.
Yeah, it's gonna be soul point for the side of Cut Teeth, and yeah, unfortunate. I think Black Eyed Peas is trying to find plays around the map, but unfortunately, you just one doesn't have enough damage, and then two, unfortunately, I think it just might be too little, too late at this point. I don't think, I don't think that they have enough damage to punch through a support anymore. So that's which is kind of sad to say, unfortunately. So I think I like that they're trying to look for plays, trying to find ways to get back into the game. But I feel like if they could just farm a little bit, wait out the game a little bit longer, wait for some
flash
ornament.
into Twisted Advance, the heroic swing. Black Eyed Peas ults back, but he's back in the pit. The comeuppance channel, but it gets canceled. Can they get the kill on the Echo? The TP invested by the Rise, as we see Clan Crusher looking for the backline. Kwanzaa getting the CC, looking for the Caitlyn, gets booted back. The cleanse used. It's just a split team fight on all sides as Trash Panda tries to make a difference. Throws out the Tibbers and immediately dies. And Tony is chasing down Black Eyed Peas. Fingerbonger here with the Blast Cone gets it. The Alistar in position for the root as Zork trying to get the ornaments. A nice bounce back, but Kwanzaa gets the knockback. I think this just might be Clan Crusher killing them all. Searing Charge gets a good knockup, but I mean, it's support again, traded for 2. You'll take that.
Here comes
we see the heroic swing, gets the action hero shot. Miztaz just blasting him down. Comeuppance channel, but it might not be needed. It just gets off. Oh my god, a shutdown on Black Eyed Peas though is huge for him, but I mean, it's 4 members for 2. The inhib going, or sorry, the inhib turret going down, and likely the inhib will follow. Big stuff from the side of Cut Teeth, trashing the team fight, losing 2 from a bit of over aggression, but I mean, it's a 10k gold lead and they're gonna continue pushing it.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about this game. I think Cut Teeth are just going to keep rolling over the game, even if they keep dying. Even if a few members keep dying, I don't think it's going to take so much time for Rita to get back into this game. And they have a few ornaments coming in already for the side of Zork on this Ornn, but I don't think it's going to matter too much if everybody on the team are a full item and a few components down, so ornaments don't make up too much of that difference, unfortunately. So on the side of Cut Teeth, Rise does have their actualizer now, so Rise is full build in my opinion, and Mel does have Death Cap already with that Blighting Jewel already there. And something that I haven't said, I've been meaning to say but haven't mentioned is that 6-item Mel is going to be terrifying if it gets to that point, because this Mel is in the 80 carry role. They will get that extra. They're realm warping.
Caitlyn. Yipsy is there. Can they peel for their team as Clan Crusher goes in? Comeuppance channel to do big damage on White Devil, and I think, yeah, that's just a dead devil there. Tony blasts him with the Radiant Volley. They're trying to chase Yipsy, who did invest the ultimate to escape. The pullback from the Dreaded Return hits. The Orient Rush doing decent damage. They can't catch the cow, but they have the Baron. They have more members here as the Caitlyn is dead. Golden Eclipse used on the Alistar doesn't get the kill, but Trash Panda investing the ultimate. Can they kill Kwanzaa? Yeah, they do get it with that investment from the phase dive, but I mean, traded back is Trash Panda, who goes down. He flashes, but doesn't flash out of much. Miztaz now trying to 1v1 Zork, who's getting beat down by the Baron minions. Use of the QSS for some reason from Miztaz. I don't think there was much to block there, but he's winning out on that mid lane push. There's still multiple members with Baron. Oh, the snare barely gets stepped away from, but now Clan Crasher is here, gets the pullback. Can he get the Q2 for the knockup? He can, and he just donates the kill. Actually, Chrono Shift doing big damage, but it's going to secure
a revive
by the Avenger Rang. And like you said, Arrow, it's not ARAM, but that is a revive for the Maokai, who's back on the map. I don't know if they're going to keep sieging here. That is pretty dangerous against the Caitlyn. They used a lot of cooldowns, but still, that's so much gold in the pockets. But can they find more? We'll have to see after this reset.
I mean, it's just exciting to me. It's my first time seeing a revive on SR. So, but unfortunately, it wasn't a huge pivotal revive. I mean, I'm sure Kwanzaa is happy to be out of the gray screen simulator, of course. But yeah, I think Rita do have some tools to find picks in the jungle to get some kills back, but unfortunately I think the kill onto Kwanzek is so negligible at this point, and the gold difference is just too insurmountable. So for the side of Rita, you're probably thinking, all right, what's the next draft for next game? Because thankfully for the side of Rita, Cut Teeth aren't going to get they're going to get these champions next game. So thankfully, Akshan is never going to be seen again in this series.
Wait, Maokai walking in, the Solar Snare, gets knocked away from. I think if the angle was better, that would have been a kill on the Echo because the Mel is just so damn strong. I mean, the one thing you do have to worry about is Black Eyed Peas on the Echo has 3 items. Orn trying to fight the Zahen, but the Zahen is so damn powerful with 3 items fully completed. As it's going to be the flash into the root, onto the oh my god, Echo dies. This is not Arcane Season 2. This is just domination from Cut Teeth. Oh my god, Caitlyn actually doing huge damage, firing back with the crits, with the headshots on the 2.5 items there, with the ornament as well. But I mean, that is going to be Dragon Soul taken from the side of Cut Teeth. I think that's the Mountain Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so a lot more tankiness means that they have even more tools to win this game because the burst from the Echo and Caitlyn will matter so much less through that shield.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I don't think Cut Teeth needed the soul to win this game, but they're just, they're playing it safe, playing it by the book. I mean, I want to call out that might have been a caster curse. You were praising Black Eyed Peas, and then we watched them pop on screen. So, yeah, I gotta throw that out there, just to yeah, sorry, Black Eyed Peas. We do be caster cursing a few people every once in a while, but on the side of Cut Teeth, they are playing a pretty clean game so far. I mean, it's such a dominating game, and between this game 1 and game 2, it's like both teams showcasing their strengths, their strengths and their weaknesses, of course. And I mean, I love that we're able to see the strength of Cut Teeth, and some of these picks. We called it unorthodox and champion slick, but I think you also had a great call there, where it's like, okay, some of these picks aren't what people are used to, for sure. Like Mel in this bot lane as a Caitlyn, you have to be cognizant of a few things, and if you're not used to it, clearly it's been a challenge for them. So, but for the side of Rita, thankfully Mel's not going to be in the next game. Zahen's not going to be in the next game. And,
wait, Mistaz base checking, throws up the Avenger Ring, is going to get CC'd though. It's a flash out from the Rise. He uses the QSS to get out, but now, oh my god, the Caitlyn almost dies to that. The comeuppance almost killing them. Call of the Forge God hits multiple members, but Clan Crusher goes in with the Q1 and the Q2. Grim Deliverance gets big damage, and the Golden Eclipse kills the Echo, as we see Trash Panda gonna try their damn best, but they're just gonna send back to the trash, as it's gonna be Clan Crusher taking over the fight. The Realm Warp into the backside, and this is gonna be ground beef as Yipsy tries to run away. Tony just gonna likely execute them. No, it's Clan Crusher crushing this cow. It's not even ground beef, baby. It's crushed beef, as it's going to be the inhib going down. They don't even lose enemy. Nobody died, as it's gonna be White Devil trying to fire back, but Kwanzaa gets the root on them, knocks them back. Can they secure it? The pullback from the Dreaded return into the Q2 knockup, and it's going to be Clan Crusher getting another kill. The Maokai gives up their life, but again, every time they die, their team wins out. And in what was an explosive game 2 with a crazy draft, it is going to be the game 3 taken as, game 2 taken by Cut Teeth, as they take us to game 3 against Republic. They come out swinging with their unique picks, and they make it work. Wow, what a game here, Arrow.
Yeah, huge turnaround game here for Cut Teeth. I mean, Clan Crusher on the Zahen, absolutely, turning it around from game 1. They made so many better decisions in the early game, not contesting that, not contesting Scuttle, and getting killed early, and allowing Trash Panda to accelerate the game. Just absolute masterclass there for Clan Crusher in the jungle, being able to get that level 6 early, and before Black Eyed Peas could in that early skirmish, and absolutely utilize that advantage and kill, get a few early kills onto Rita members, and rolling the game. And for me, it's also Binger Bonger, absolute huge turnaround from game 1. I think they died a lot of times in that game 1, and then in this game, deathless. I mean, that's what you want to see from your mid laner. After having a rough game, the mental resilience to lock it down, and just prevent Trash Panda from absolutely running the game. Trash Panda was absolutely useless, honestly. I even with the bad build, I think this Annie was unfortunately not able to have the impact that I thought they would. With engage range and all of that, but it was absolute absolute rollover there. For cut teeth and yeah, just shout out to everybody, everybody having a really good game. I mean, um for sure. Yeah, Kwanzek on that Maokai taking so many echo engages and just like laughing in their face with aftershock for sure is another notable a notable performance as well. So I really, yeah, really good game for cut teeth here.
Absolutely. I mean, what a game for them. They're on the brink of defeat and they're showing us that maybe they can bring it back. I mean, we're
Mhm.
taking a game 3 that's more than we could have asked for. I mean, that final call out in that game 2 was not needed because they're back for more, baby. I
Yep.
think Kwanzaa on game 1 even had a great Leona game. They were looking for so many
Yep.
engage angles and they made it work in game 2
100%.
because, not every lane was losing. Binger, if you told me at the end of game 1 that Binger Bonger's going to gap Trash Panda, I'd be like, "Nah, you're crazy. You're in a different timeline, baby." As yeah, I mean, the timeline is the one that they win because Black Eyed Peas could not reverse the timeline on the Echo, even though they were so fed. Like you said, right? Arrow Kwanzaa just says, screw it, I'm going in on the Echo. They lock him down. Even through the Chrono Shift, they kill him because they're just so ahead. So I love the unique picks. I love the adaptation and draft.
Yeah.
But the problem with Fearless, right? Like you said, Arrow, you cannot get these champions again in game 2. Or sorry, game 3, now that they've been picked in game 2, they're going to have to dig deeper and look, through their champion ocean, what feels like, to, find picks that can really work for them in this game 3. But yeah, as I end off my little monologue there for the game 2, any
Mhm.
final thoughts on game 2, Arrow, before we jump to a quick break?
No, I think you hit it on the nose. With Fearless, Cut Teeth will no longer have these unique picks, so I'm gonna be curious to see what they can try and pull out for Game 3. If this is what they need to win games, some of these unique picks, some of these comfort picks, then they have to have one more draft to secure, hopefully secure their spot into playoffs. Otherwise, Rita, I think with I think a bigger champion pool will be able to cleanly win game 3 potentially. But if cut teeth can have one more draft of unique champions, I'm so excited to see what game 3 has in store for us.
Absolutely. One more game is what both of these teams need as we're now neck and neck in the series. Like you said, Arrow, winner of this gets a chance to slip into playoffs, and we'll see how that goes. As after we come back from the break, it's going to be us going straight into the game 3 draft. 20 champions banned, I believe, 5 on both sides. Sorry. Yeah, 20 champions gone from Fearless, another 10 bans. That's 30 champions deep into the League Champ pool. Will it be Cut Teeth or will it be the Gamers Republic of Margaritaville? For all of the ones still watching Risen Esports, you're real ones, and we're happy to bring you Game 3. We'll be back very shortly to take you to the final game of the night. Hello, everyone who watches Risen Esports. We are back at it. Myself, Kevin Dunk, Eros Dion, and Three Eyes taking you to Game 3 on stream between Cut Teeth and the Gamers Republic of Margaritaville. What was a pretty solid Game 1 from Republic gets punched back by Cut Teeth with their crazy picks in Game 2, taking us to a faded Game 3 as it's just going to be chaos, I think, with 30 champions going to be gone. Both teams on the edge of either qualifying for playoffs or maybe making it to the elimination bucket. Who knows? We'll see today as Arrow and I are going to jump straight into the draft.
Yeah, I mean, stakes on the line is a playoff spot. If you lose, you're out. But and if you win, you still have a chance. So hopefully through tiebreakers. So we'll have to see what Cut Teeth and Rita want to do with Rita. Like you said, oh wow, okay, insta lock on the Kaisa. I love it. But with Rita, slamming game one, and then Cut Teeth with their unique draft slamming game number two. But oh my god, we're going so fast here. So Cut Teeth, I mean, both teams looks like they know what they really want in these drafts. So Cut Teeth slamming that Kaisa, saying, "Hey, this is Tony's second best champion next to the 6.2 million Zaya that got banned." So slamming that Kaisa, saying, "Hey, I'm throwing down the gauntlet in this last game. They want playoffs. They want this win." So, but on the flip side, Rita slamming the Rel Varus instantly. So it seems like they knew what was gonna happen. Like they had an idea of what they wanted to do if this Kaisa was slammed, but. We'll see, but Aurora getting locked in here. This should be Binger Bonger's Aurora in the mid lane, but Kaisa Tarek in the bot
Okay.
lane. Okay, this is okay. Not one of my not a pairing that I've had when I've played Kaisa in the bot lane, but I Tarek I think Tarek is really strong in general, and I think it could be pretty good against this Rel that wants to find these big multi-man engages. So we'll have to see what Rita want to do. They could blind their jungler here, or they get that counter pick in the mid lane, but it looks like they're going to lock in this Zac right now. So right now they have a lot of engaged tools. They have a lot of CC, pretty beefy frontliners for this Varus to, kind of sit back and deal the damage. But if anybody gets CC'd in that backline, if Cut Teeth have get some like dive CC onto this Varus, this Kai'Sa is going to be diving in straight forward and assassinating anybody in that backline. So we'll have to see what Rita want to do to prevent that from happening. They're going to ban out the Mundo. I think that's not a terrible ban. I mean, there's a lot of tools that that the Mundo can block, but Mordekaiser going to be banned out here for Zork on this on Rita's side. But I think Zork still has plenty of champions, especially being R5 on the red side. They'll have the ability to get that counter pick top lane. Hopefully not avoid getting. I think they had a pretty rough time in that second game with that Ornn into Akshan matchup. So we'll have to see what Rita want to do. They will ban out that Xin Zhao, and then the final ban coming in will be Orianna. So all the bans finally out, and we'll see what Trash Panda has left. I mean, I believe they are an 80 carry main, and that is filling into the mid lane role. So after that game one performance, I thought they might be the biggest Smurf in the world. But then after that game two performance, kind of more of a grounding experience for sure. But so we'll have to see which version of Trash Panda we're gonna get, and it's gonna be Victor here in the mid lane to go up against the Aurora. So thoughts on the draft so far, Kevin? I mean, I love what I'm seeing so far.
Oh, I mean, Rita, I think they have a really great team. They have multiple forms of hard engage. The Poppy is out due to the
Hmm.
Fearless draft, right? So it can't stuff the Rel or the Zac. I mean, like you said, the Tarek is so good. If you time that Cosmic Radiance at the right time, it can just stop the entire engage, right? But the thing is, I feel like
Ooh.
Kwanzaa has been really good on the engage, and now they're on something that's more supportive, right? Like Tarek
Yeah.
can get like engages with the flash dazzle, but not similar to the snap engages like Leona, like the Maokai that they were
Yeah.
so good at getting before, which is makes me a little bit worried. I mean, with the Galio pop here and the Aurora, I mean, there's a ton of tools to team fight. Galio dashes in, everyone's
Yeah.
slowed from the Aurora, and you can just dive in with the Kaisa. So, I'm a bit less worried now that they have tools, but I mean, it was the players that drive the game, and it's going to be Ambessa final lock
Ooh.
in, Ambessa jungle. Again, I think Cut Teeth have like a great dive comp, and then the
Wait.
Taric, if they go early, right, they get something like the Bastion on the right target. You could hit the entire team as they go in with the Cosmic Radiance, and you cannot fight back as Rita. But I mean, Rita have such a great comp. They have multiple ways to kill tanks with the Zac max health damage, the Varus
What?
light stacks. But oh my god, this might be the craziest top down.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. For the viewers, Heimerdinger was flashed for about a second
Oh,
there for
oh,
Rita, which
okay.
I think would have been like a counter pick top lane against Gal. I don't even think that's a counter into Galio. But it could be
No,
either Galio top or Aurora top. These two are swappable in both mid and top side.
that's
But I
true.
mean, the Victor is going to be pretty weak early game. The Zac, I think, has great ganks, especially when paired with the set. So whoever's going to go against the set in the top, I think just has to be super careful that they don't get snowballed on, because Zac's set early game is just going to be monstrous, and you cannot give up an early lead like you did in game one against Rita, because they will run away with it. But man, Arrow, after seeing this completed draft, what are your feelings on this?
I mean, I love Rita's draft. I mean, it's a standard straight like front to back kind of team composition, but they have the engage tools with that Zac jumping in there into the back line, jumping into wherever they need to. But I really like this Mbessa pick. I think this Mbessa does kind of round out the cut teeth composition of giving Kaisa that dive option, right? And not only Mbessa diving into the backline will Mbessa will have a buddy that dives. Will have more than one buddy that dives into the backline with a Galio ultimate, with the
Absolutely.
Kaisa ultimate. So I think this Mbessa is going to be able to disrupt what Rita really want to do with that front to back. But on the flip side, I I ooh, yeesh, 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 yeesh. I don't know, man. I really like what Cut Teeth have. I like what I mean, both teams really showcasing what they want to do in drafts generally. Like Rita want to do that standard front to back. This is very easy. It should be easier to execute, right? But Cut Teeth want to thrive on that chaos with that Taric ultimate. Is good that this Taric ultimate is going to be able to save some key members of Cut Teeth and really kind of negate what Rita wants to do sometimes, which is probably with this Varus and this Zac, snap engages onto caught out members of Cut Teeth. But if Tara can get the invulnerable off, then Rita's plan might go to waste. But I don't know. Both teams have really good tools. We'll just have to see what they can pull out during the game, because I think a lot of these games have been kind of dictated by which jungler um, which jungler is going to make the right decision in the early game. Game one, it was Clan Crusher kind of making a mistake with their decisions and going for a dragon and a scuttle, like when they didn't have the right timer. And then in game number two, it was Black Eyed Peas spending too much time trying to gank a lane and not getting level 6, and then crucially losing a few team fights. Because of the lack of experience and everything. So we'll have to see, which jungler wants to can accelerate the game, and it might dictate the rest of the series and potentially who goes to playoffs.
Absolutely. Like I'm not sure how you feel about like which draft has the advantage. I mean, from what I'm hearing here, Arrow, and what I'm feeling at least is that
Hmm.
these two team comps I think are neck and neck. I mean, in the
Yeah.
scaling department, both of them have like very strong carries. Like Varus and Victor are both
Yeah.
terrifying in the late game. Zac becomes unkillable, and even though set, you can send him behind, but if he drops, the 3K health Galio into your backline, that's just a game-winning team fight, right? But on
Yeah.
the other side, Aurora late game, can insta kill either of your carries if they don't react in time. The
Hmm.
Ambessa, with that level 16, just permanently heals, has, so much CDR that they can just dash around your whole team, I guess, against something like the Victor and the Varus, which are, not very mobile. You
Right.
jump on them with the public execution. If they don't have flash, that is a dead carry for sure. As soon as you get the Kaisa in, that is like double dead kill for sure. Like I don't even know how to describe it. That is so much
Right.
damage you have on a single target. Kaisa, late game scaling monster. Aurora one-shot monster. Tarek only gets more effective with CDR, with items. But like on the other side, right? You can't even for a second be, what's the word? Cocky against the set because he gets a flash ulti
Right.
angle and your entire team is dead, right? You get hit with the showstopper. Zach jumps in. Varus roots up your whole team. Victor drops the arcane storm. I think both teams are like, this is probably the most 50-50 draft I've seen in
Yeah.
a long time in both our league or in any others. And I think both these teams have shown that they can, play the comps out. They're, willing to fight over everything. So this is, I think, one of the most exciting game threes that we've had this season.
For sure. And like my eyes are going to be on Tony on this Kaisa. They have a lot of work to do to, punch through some of these members or even assassinate some of the backliners of Rita here. So if Tony can, get some get ramping in the early game, kind of probably they're likely going to have to try and do their best to survive this Varus rail lane. I think Varus does excel in the early games against this lane, but but with how with how the first two games have been going, I mean, Kwanzaa has been the highlight in this bot lane. Just soaking up so much pressure and getting some key engages in that game one to get themselves back into the game. So if Kwanzaa and Tony can negate some of this early aggression from Varus and Rel, then I think they might have the pick of the litter as the game keeps going on later into the game.
Absolutely. As AD carry mains, we're going to have to look there because, I mean, Varus early game is nasty and the Kaisa scales very hard. So, for everyone still watching, we're going to jump to our last, hopefully, one of the last breaks of the stream tonight as we jump into the game three afterwards between Cut Teeth and the Gamers Republic of Margaritaville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon to take you to the final game of tonight and the final streamed game of the regular season. Arrow and I will be there. We hope to see you soon. Hello, Risen Esports fans, viewers of wonderful League of Legends. We come into our last stream game of the regular season, the last game of tonight, and possibly the last game for Cut Teeth and the Gamers Republic of Margaritaville. Kevin Dunk, Arrow, and Three Eyes taking you through what will be hopefully an eventful game three. Both teams locked on, picks that they're very comfortable on. and happy to take the scrap as
Uh-oh.
very early the dazzle hits too. Tony
Uh-oh.
getting the stacks of the plasma, hits the Acathian Rain. White Devil taking low, the heal, use the
Uh-oh.
chase, taken very low. Can they get the last stack? They cannot, but the
No.
damage is there. They force out Yipsy and White Devil, and the minions come back faster. I have to talk faster to get there, and the bot lane is already in a very bad spot for the side of Republic.
Oh, they opt not to back. I mean, I think with how oh
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, the dazzle
Oh
almost
gosh.
hitting, the Captain Rain doing damage. The trade back with the hail of arrows, but man, like I said, Rita in a very bad spot right now. Do this
Yeah,
health deficit, and
I
Klosnik, that Bush isn't warded, so he can go for the dazzle again.
yeah. Oh, now it is warded, but I mean, I think with the new season changes, I think they should have backed there. I mean, right now their lane is pretty screwed, and even White Devil had to pop their potion so early, and right now oh man, it's one dazzle flash dazzle combo away from dying, and then I mean they do have barrier, they do have flash, so maybe they could bait it out. But I mean right now, not a good start here for the bot lane, and playing to what I kind of wanted to see from Tony and Kwanzek. I mean, I feel like both of them have been outperforming the Rita bot lane, and so far right now the pressure is on for White Devil and Yipsy to kind of claw their way back into the game. I mean, they do get most of that wave. They're only 3 CS down, but the HP difference is massive right now.
And yeah, I mean, in this playoff scenario, this is like the last game possibly for your season. The dazzle doesn't get flashed away from, so good nerfs from White Devil. Still has the barrier, but takes the Void Seeker to the face. Is taken so damn low. I think a flash, a Cathian Rain auto would kill him here, but he does have the barrier. I mean, both teams are so antsy here. Maybe Tony will get too aggressive and try for an aggressive flash and get caught under turret, but maybe White Devil will just overstep, thinking that he can bait it and die. Both teams are at the possibility of, throwing it here because I think the nerves are very high.
Yeah, I mean, all eyes are on bot lane. Both junglers are pathing down to the bot lane, but crucially, I think Tony and Kwanzek will have prio on the scuttle, and Clan Clasher is on the way, is finishing up their camps. I mean, right now Black Eyed Peas is here, so I don't think there's much.
Flash into the Shattering Strike. The flash away, though. The Stretching Strikes hits nothing. The Dazzle hits onto the Rel. Can Tony fire back with the autos? Plasma stacks are stacking. Can they get the last burst? A huge burst of damage on Yipsy, who did invest the flash
here now
on that, but it's both flashes gone for the Taric and the Kaisa, meaning the repeat gank will be devastating from Black Eyed Peas, but Clan Crusher is here. Bingerbonger actually going forward with the Justice Punch. They don't have any mana, though, so they're just going to lose this trade. Trash Mana just throwing out the autos, pops the potion. Both sides just trading aggressively. Both teams wanting blood, and both teams know that playoffs is on the line here.
Yeah, oof. I mean, the Black Eyed Peas had to skip Gromp and Blue Buff for that gank onto bot lanes, and I mean, I'm sure White Devil.
Hits,
oh
and
no!
Clan Crusher is here. The
flash
grab field gets the stun. Trash Panda just gonna flash.
Oh!
The flash is a bit far. Clan Crusher, can they get the damage? I don't think they can kill it
nice.
with the Sundering Slam, but Trash Panda, a bit dangerous there, flashing towards their turret. I mean, Clan Crusher maybe misplayed a little bit, could have stuck in maybe 1 or 2 more autos, but that is mid lane flash down on a Victor who has no mobility for the follow-up gank. So on both sides, both bot and mid, it is dangerous for both teams. Clan Crusher taking some damage from Black Eyed Peas, but he is a level up, has the red buff, but Black Eyed Peas doesn't. They're gonna scrap over this top crab. I think if the Ambessa just takes the fight, they're gonna win that, but they're going to cede it because the mid lane push is over to Trash Pan, and he TP'd back just faster.
Wait, but Black Eyed Peas didn't finish their blue buff. What? I feel like Clan Crusher should have fought that. I feel like because Aurora was on the way. Yeah, I mean, yes. And I think Binger Bonger should have backed and TP to get that double scuttle. So I feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Clan Crusher, not realizing that Black Eyed Peas still hasn't gotten their blue buff and is going to continue to clear top to bot here. But man, I think Black. I mean, even with all of that, Black Eyed Peas is so far behind right now. They missed their big buff and everything. So I think Clan Crusher is going to hit level 6 first. And even though these trades here in the bot lane are coming out, it's a Taric bot lane. The Taric's going to heal up most of this damage,
just
and
walking away from his AD carry, they'll get
no
with
flash.
the stun, as we see. Yeah, no flash. Plasma stacks are there. Tony gets the kill with the Acathian Rain for first blood. I mean, Yipsy, we thought they got out, but they had the crash out already invested, and they tried to run away with the mount up. They just chase it down. Kwasnik with the stun means that Yipsy goes down, and that is huge for the Kaisa, who is already ahead in farm in priority, and now is going to get that first kill. Very big for the bot side of Cut Teeth here.
Yeah, not looking good here for the bot lane. I mean,
that's not Fingerbong, but I don't think Trash Man has the damage to do it. They're just going to waste the ulti, hits the laser, but not going to be much after that. I mean, I think both sides are playing with a bit, bit too much impatience because they're getting scared of their
Black
opponents
Eyed
in
Peas
this
is on
last
the
game.
way, but
Yeah, the gank is here, but it gets spotted off by the Phaelites, by the ward. Black Eyed Peas looking for the gank, but doesn't get it. And that, like you said before, the farm disparity is only growing bigger because of that delayed clear on the blue buff. The camps are desynced. The Zac down now, I think 15 CS about. It's
yeah.
looking a bit dangerous for the side of Rita because they're losing a lot of gold on the map.
Yeah, unfortunately for Black Eyed Peas, I mean, maybe his bot lane did call for that gank early, but that's just kind of messed up his entire game plan in terms of clear right now. So he's going to be put pretty far behind, and
White Devil
burning
gets
the
flashed away
flash.
from. White Devil on the Varus. Not having that is big for a repeat play, as we see the Facebreaker into the Haymaker, doing decent damage to Miztaz, who has been playing the top lane very effectively, keeping range, but that was the first time they took a pretty bad trade there. I think Zork needs to look for more of those, maybe with the flash, maybe with the ulti. They're getting poked out hard by the twofold Hex, but again, like Miztaz is playing these range top laners very well, and I think Zork just can't get in range for the kills.
Yeah, keep your eyes on this top lane scuttle here. If once Clan Crusher does get this scuttle here in the top lane, they will hit level 6 first, and they're probably going to have advantage to get. They're looking for mid.
Oh my
here.
gosh!
Oh, they have 6 already.
Into the public execution. Trash Panda goes down to Clan Crushers. Black Eyed Peas is bit too late for the play. The ultimate invested from the Galio as well to guarantee that the Zac has to back off, as Black Eyed Peas with just a small blob gets hit with a Sundering Slam into the strike. No, they walked up too far, and now their blobs are in a bad spot. I don't think the turret can protect them. Bingerbonger getting the kill there with the
drops aggro
backwards, getting the kill and the blue buff. And what is in a kind of complete contrast to game one, it is the mid jungle of Team Cut Teeth bringing down Republic here. It is looking good for them, and they want revenge for that mid jungle gap in game one.
Oh man, Clan Crusher is absolutely crushing Black Eyed Peas in the jungle matchup right now. My mistake there, I forgot that Clan Crusher on this Mbessa was able to. Flash!
Wait, Flash Dazzle into the Killer Instinct means White Devil goes down, and it's Yipsy who has to run away. The 80 carry dies there, and it's just tragedy for the side of Margaritaville. Or sorry, yeah, the Margaritaville are just sad. I think the cups are empty because their team members are going down in every lane, every position. It's a 3K gold lead already at just 8 minutes for this side, as we see the engage of the Justice Punch hits. The Gravity Field placed very far away from the Galio as he gets a huge trade onto the Victor. Victor doesn't even scratch him, and just the base damage of Galio is so high. You just take those trades and win it. Bingerbonger has the advantage, has push, doesn't have the ulti to make up the follow play, but I think this is going to be Dragon secured off the bot and mid lane prio.
Yeah, should be Dragon secured here for the side of Cut Teeth. I mean, they're looking really good in this early game, and it's just been Clan Crusher absolutely crushing Black Eyed Peas, like I was saying earlier. So to finish my thought, I mean, Clan Crusher was able to steal the Raptors away from Black Eyed Peas. So Black Eyed Peas missing their blue buff, missing, I mean, they did end up getting the scuttle at that case, but right now, I mean, it's the CS lead is massive and the EXP lead is massive. But right now, they're looking for more.
Zork is here between Worlds Cast, but Trash
Crusher is on the way though.
Onto the Aurora is enough. Miztaz goes down as he tries to go for the play onto the Zac, but they're just tanking up. But Tony is now here firing the bullets. The bullets do rain true as it's going to be the hail of arrows. Not enough damage to trade back on Tony, but now Yipsy in a 2v1 feeling confident. I don't think they can win this, as Tony has fully stacked lethal tempo and the plasma stacks, has the barrier as well, and they just fire onto White Devil, who goes down. I think they burned the ultimate to get out, but they didn't have any sums to escape, so Tony and Kwanzek again just winning out on the bot lane. They've been doing so well every single game. They're up now 3-0 on this Kai'Sa, which is huge. Going to likely get Kraken Slayer. But on the opposite side, I mean, Miztaz does go down. That is Rift Grubs the full 3. Void Grubs the full 3. Over to Black Eyed Peas. Is a bit of a trade back. Ooh, Piercing Arrow does big damage, but I don't think White Devil can get the kill.
Nah, nothing. I think, yeah, Tony just trying to get that wave pushed in. I mean, the Void Grubs play.
Wait, maybe this is a kill here. Public execution was available, but Bingerbonger can't get enough follow-up, as Trash Panda did invest the Gravity Field to escape, and actually is up a full legendary.
Look at this bot lane scuttle here.
Went for it. As we see, bot lane scrap, like you said, Arrow, 2-man stun into a 2-man root into big damage, but the Unstoppable goes off.
Flash.
The Galio fly in with the hero's entrance. Clan Crusher kills him with the public execution, and the Zac gets bonked by Kwanzek. Kill secured there for the support. Now Bingerbonger looking for Trash Panda, and Yipsy has to disengage with that Shattering Strike. Again, the Varus is just too far up and goes down. They thought they could have the kill angle on to the Ambessa, and she just turns it in that fight with the public execution. I mean, there's no one to peel the Varus, and they just die. They're just so far behind, they can't get meaningful damage for the burst.
Yeah, unfortunately, this gold lead has ballooned into almost a 4K gold lead, and it's not looking too good for Rita. Happy hour looks like it is over after game one.
Getting caught here, two-man stun into the Shattering Strike. The Arcane Storm doing big damage.
Okay.
Quanzek doesn't have the ultimate. He doesn't choose to use it as it wouldn't be fast enough. It's the shutdown over to the Victor. I mean, I don't know how Tarek got the shutdown there, but that is a pretty big injection of gold on Trash Panda's Victor, who is the best performing player on their team.
Looking for a
Maybe
dive
that
here.
could be a difference, but like you said, Arrow, the ganks keep coming as White Devil taken low by just only 2 abilities. Tony has to back off, though, as the turret is heated up. Bot lane, suffering a bit, but Varus thankfully does not die.
Yeah, I mistakenly thought Zach was going to be looking for a dive into mid lane, but it was more so Clan Crusher in bot lane looking for a dive there. So, but yeah, maybe I kind of Castle Curse Quanzek there. I thought Rita was looking really bad, but they had a good turnaround play onto Quanzek, punishing the aggression there. So looking good too. But even then, still looking really good for the side of Cut Teeth. I mean,
has the TP move speed, gets the pullback with the face breaker. Can they get more? They don't have the stride breaker though to catch up. And Mistaz with the movement speed off the passive, the tier 2 boots are just gonna walk away from that. But in the mid lane, heavy trading continues as Bingerbonger walks out of the gravity field, just gets a short trade, and now White Devil walks up way too far as he gets the ultimate. But now it's the ult in from the Killer Instinct as Tony is taken to about half HP. But White Devil just can't fire back enough. The Kraken Slayer is completed, and they're trying to fight against Tony, who is the Dawn right now. A quest completed, kill secured, and it's just Yipsy again who has to watch as his bot laner, his AD carry, who should be carrying the game, is down for the 4th time this game.
Yeah, White Devil not having a good one in this game, number 3. I mean, it's just Tony and Quanzek just absolutely. Wait, what are we doing here? There's no damage.
The stun on him. I think Tony and Quanzek can turn this around. Black Eyed Peas getting the stretching strikes. The stun only hits 1. The Cosmic Radiance invested, as we see here. They're trying to chase Black Eyed Peas using the Let's Bounce with the Flash Dazzle onto 2 into the Void Seeker. It's a flash out from the Zac. Tony can't follow up anymore, but big turn from this bot lane. I mean, this 4-0 Kaisa is such a dangerous target. You jump on her, but she will kill you first, as it's going to be Black Eyed Peas, getting the gank off, but they just don't have the damage to get the kills.
Yeah, I mean, there was nobody there. It was just Rel. White Devil was still coming from base, and it wasn't like Trash Panda was also roaming down. So, I mean, I have to criticize the gank decision there. I mean, there was nothing to be had, at least not at that timer. I mean, if you waited for White Devil to come down and, provide some damage there, or if you had Trash Panda or, a Zork TP from behind, maybe that works. But, thankfully he gets out they get out with their life. But, I mean, I have to criticize the gank timer there. There was nothing to be had. Dragon's not even up, so it's not like you could make that into a dragon play there. But at the end of the day, you lose your flash, and now you probably won't have it for this dragon fight. And unfortunately, Cut Teeth is going to have cryo now.
Jumped on. He has no flash. Gets knocked up by the Justice Punch. He has the plasma stacks on him. Public execution misses, but I don't think it's needed, as we see a big stun happen. But White Devil still goes down for the 5th time. Varus is out of position.
Here goes
the flash Justice Punch, but it's flashed away from the Victor. Trash Panda doesn't hit the blast cone, but the Rel does. But the Dazzle hits onto 2, as it's going to be a big knockup. But the Victor is already dead. Tony snipes it with the Void Seeker, and now the Cell division is just going to get divided by the team. 3 kills for nothing, as it's going to be the bot side fight going fully in the favor of Cut Teeth as they take another bite out of their opponent.
Yeah, it's going from bad to worse here for the side of Margaritaville. I mean, the Cut Teeth are just absolutely rolling the map right now, getting their bot lane advantage and rolling it into 2 early dragons, and then of course Clan Crusher on this Ambessa absolutely running the jungle and running Black Eyed Peas around the map, not really letting them get themselves back into the game. I mean, it's just so hard from this point. They Black Eyed Peas and Margaritaville need some time to get them scaling, but Tony and Quanzek aren't letting them breathe.
As we see Quanzek getting another stun. Big damage just from the Dazzle. I mean, I don't think Tarek does that much damage, but he has, I mean, an item and a half with the Knight's Vow and I think that's the Dream Maker, as we see Trash Panda getting TP'd on. Okay, it's just the Galio, so nothing crazy there. But I mean, I just gotta say, White Devil's looking a bit too aggressive with, their positioning on the Varus. You like the champion. If you're playing it as a poke champ, you can't really walk up that far, and you
Yeah.
have multiple frontliners. You just have to wait, and they just feel like it's been a bit too impatient with the positioning. I mean, the first 2 kills I can give, but after that, they just walk up way too close to the Taric for them to get the stun, and it's just looking dangerous because, lethality Varus from behind is not a champion, right?
No,
It's
not at
hard
all.
extremely to get anything off this, as it's going to be almost a 6k gold lead. Trash Panda walking up very aggressively because the team members are there, but Clan Crusher just jumping immediately onto Yipsy. That was with the shield, and he takes so much damage from the Sundering Slam. It is just a huge power spike from Clan Crusher with that fully completed item. The full eclipse, but we see here the dive onto the Galio, but there's just no damage.
Wait,
Trash Panda
right?
getting taunted up, and now the Invest is in range. They get the knock up on the Victor, a huge Magnet Storm, but it just doesn't matter as Mistaz makes it to the fight. The Aurora is just blasting them with the power as we see Zork make it in. He finally picks up a kill on the
Clan
Galio, but
Crusher,
now the Invest is going crazy in the backline.
Ooh.
Public Execution actually hits from downtown. A huge showstopper doesn't get the kill though, as we see White Devil getting faced down by Tony. Killer Instinct involved. As we see, it's just going to be domination from the Kaisa. White Devil had nowhere to run, and Tony had the blast for him, as we see Zork pulling back in Quansnick. As we see everything just going in the favor of the side of Cut Teeth. They just can't lose on the map. I mean, sure, they lose the Galio, but that's one off tank for, multiple kills across the map. And this Kaisa 6 kills, this Ambessa full 2 items at 16 minutes, 17 minutes. There's no way, I think, for the side of Republic to get a team fight they can win if the numbers are even.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think White Devil not just pretty much out of this game. I mean, Tony just absolutely shutting down this bot lane alongside Quanzix. So this bot lane is just gonna kind of once they get themselves out of the map, and looks like they will take over mid lane here. We'll just run over the map alongside Clan Crusher. I mean, once Clan Crusher starts ulting people, it's gonna be Tony following up right on top of them with that Galio ultimate. So these team fights are gonna be so hard for the side of Rita to try and find a way back into this game. I mean, the threat of the dive is immense, and then they don't have a lot of tools to kind of peel for Trash Panda, for White Devil.
The taunt onto Black Eyed Peas, but I think he's out safe. Yeah, it's just Bingerbar just walking in their face. As, I mean, he's the least ahead person on the side, but White Devil walking way too close to the Taric once again. Tony's going to hit him with the Void Seeker, and I think that's just a freebie. Quanzek doesn't even need an engaged champion to get the kills for his team, but now Yipsy in the middle of a 1v3. Black Eyed Peas here to support, but I don't think this Zac is enough to stop the Ambessa as she's just clearing everyone. It's going to be a Cosmic Radiance invested as Let's Plans is used, but on the back line, the public execution into the hero's entrance is a beautiful combo from Clan Crusher, and Binger Bonger, and Black Eyed Peas just has to watch as he gets melted by the Kaisa once again, and 3 kills for 0. I feel like I've seen this before. It's deja vu for Cut Teeth as they run in, take 3 kills, lose nothing, and continue to take over this game.
Yeah, it's just Cut Teeth all over the map. Once again, and Clan Crusher on this Ambessa, finding the pick onto Trash Panda. It looked like it was an initial pick onto Black Eyed Peas, but Trash Panda unfortunately walks into the public execution range and gets instantly popped, gets instantly targeted with that ultimate, and it's just an easy kill onto Trash Panda. And right now, I keep repeating myself, but it is Cut Teeth running the map, and unless they overplay their hand, people back at mistimings, or people go in a little silly or whatever, it's just going to be a clean win for Cut Teeth for this game. And Rita, they have to look for something, but right now Tony and Quanzek are hunting.
No. Tony and Quanzek get the stun onto Rel, but thankfully, due to the Celestial opposition, they're tanky enough to not die. But Black Eyed Peas going very far. I don't know if they can take this fight as they get chunked down. The Dazzle barely misses. Blast Cone hit to send out multiple members. The disengage. I don't know why they keep going for this 4v5, but on the top side, Zork gets a nice showstopper backwards. The Weirding sends Zork back. As we see, oh my god, Between Worlds invested into the showstopper, but now Biztat just actually goes down to that. They got way too close to the sun, and they go down. Oh my god, Black Eyed Peas, I don't know how he got out of that. That was a weird animation, but a re-engage here. Magnet Storm, but they can't kill the Tony on the Kaisa, who's just pumping out damage. They get the first kill. Cell Division activated the stun only onto the Taric. The lasers are not doing a damn thing to Binger Bonger as we see the Killer Instinct fly back to the backline. Trash Panda taken low as we see the ulti miss from the Varus, and on the other side, Tony is just blasting them to pieces. And on the other side, White Devil tries to fire back with the arrows, but everybody knows that Void Plasma is a lot better than these dinky
Oh,
arrows.
still have
Public execution
execution.
hits for what feels like the 10th time this game. I don't
Oh
think
boy.
Clan Crusher has missed a single
Oh,
one.
we're
As
TPing?
it's going to be White Devil going down for the 8th time, and a TP is very ambitious. The pull back on Binger Bong, but he just is going to dash out with the Justice Punch. 21 kills to 4. There's more kills than there are minutes in this game, and Cut Teeth are taking the majority of them. What an early game from this team.
Yeah, I mean, and at 20 minutes into the game, they're at soul point already. I mean, I thought that Rita had an opportunity there for a potential 5v4 fight with Zork getting the solo kill onto Ms. Taz on that Aurora. But even if Zork did end up TPing immediately after getting that solo kill top lane, they had expended most of their kit onto killing that Aurora, so even if they show up, there's not much for them to do. And at the end of the day, it's just Black Eyed Peas going in a little too far, and White Devil wasn't even there for most of that fight. And by the time they showed up, it seemed like Clan Crusher had saved public execution just for them. So unfortunately for the side of Cut Teeth, or for Rita, excuse me, it's just another unfortunate team fight loss, and Cut Teeth are posturing
Oh no,
for
White Devil face checking into Tony. It's a 2-level lead. It's a 3-item gap, and they just die instantly. Quantic using the Cosmic Radiance as the Kai'Sa's just walking up the front line. Trash Panda taking so much damage as the hero's entrance gets the kill on the Zac, and Yipsy is trying to run, but I don't think they're going to get away. The flash into the Justice Punch. Will this be a Penta for the Kai'Sa? Maybe it will, as Zork gets a huge showstopper. They can't get more kills, as it's going to be the solo laners running away. But I mean, again, I say it again and again, Arrow, it's going to be Cut Teeth taking 3, losing nothing, and moving on to control this game further as they go for the Baron.
I mean, Kevin, I don't know if you know off the top of the head, or even producer, do you guys know what the kill record is for a single Risen game? Because this Kai'Sa might be reaching that point, because this is a fed Kai'Sa. 13 kills, 0 deaths, and 4 assists at 22 minutes is an insane record for
My God, look at the gold.
Yeah, the gold difference is 11K right now at 22 minutes into the game. So, yikes is all I have to say, Kevin. Yikes.
Yikes indeed. The Kai'Sa has double the Varus's gold and is not slowing down. I mean, it is just a massive gap, and White Devil just has not been in the mix, right? Like, they've been shut out, and even at the key team fights, like you said, they just weren't close enough. And I mean, I gotta be, I don't want to flame them, but it's just so hard because you have to show up to the fights, but you can't frontline like that on the Varus, right? As AD carry players, we both know you're not a good champion if you're walking into the face of people. And it's just, they have to find an overload, but they're just taking the 4v4s here. Trash Panda taking very low. Killer Instinct in the back line. Trash Panda doesn't go down, but they hit the stun on the Kai'Sa. Can they kill her? They might actually burst her down. She's taken so low, and it actually goes down to the Victor. But on the other side, the back line gets obliterated by the combination of the Aurora and the Mbessa. It's going to be, again, the team fight going in favor of Team Cut Teeth as they just wipe almost everyone. It seems like they love the number 3 because they're just taking 3 kills every time, but that is a pretty massive shutdown over to the Victor. I mean, White Devil, I'm so sorry to say it, buddy, but 10 death power spike is only for Yasuo here. Zork trying to defend this turret is a valiant effort, but I don't think he can get much. Hits a big, actually doesn't actually hit the damage from that Haymaker, and it's just the base getting torn to pieces by Cut Teeth as Mbessa solo pushing this tier 3. Yeah. Tier 2 goes down, more gold in the pockets of the members that matter. Sure, you kill the Kai'Sa finally, but what is that going to do against a 12k gold lead?
Yeah, I mean, Rita, to get back into that game, they need Tony to have a few more happy moments like that one. So, I mean, can't blame Tony. They feel like a god at this point, so they kind of diving into like 4 members of Rita. But thankfully for the side of Rita, they're able to punish this Kai'Sa's mispositioning. But at the end of the day, Clan Crusher is still still really strong, and then Ms. Taz finally shows up for a team fight. So it's just you have so many threats on the side of
the taunt barely misses Trash Panda. The TP invested by Zork. As we see, they try to get the stretching strikes, but it's on Bingerbong. He's a tank. Clan Crusher doing big damage. Then Zork running into the backline gets a actually big stun, but the Cosmic Radiance invested. Tony doesn't actually get it, but the hero's entrance just is huge. Black Eyed Peas goes down to the shred. Showstopper used, but I don't think it's going to do much, as on the backline it is just another public execution is what you could call it, because publicly Cut Teeth are just obliterating obliterating the side of the Republic. I mean, Miztaz finally goes down, but it doesn't really matter because Baron Buff is on the side of Cut Teeth. Only Zork is alive. I mean, he hasn't died yet, but preserving that KDA won't do you damn much when you're not winning the game, as it's going to be tier 3 knockdown. This might be the end here, Arrow.
Yeah, I think this might be the if it is in the game right now. I mean, it was the game 15 minutes ago, but it looks like they're going to back off the wave and they're going to go get their soul at 25 minutes into the game. So if regardless, I mean, this game was pretty over a few minutes ago from the get go. But yeah, in that team fight, just a perfect showcase of what Cut Teeth want to do in team fights. Even though Rita did get their straight up front to back team fight, it's just Clan Crusher diving onto the back line. And even though Tony didn't follow up, at this point in the game, Clan Crusher can't die. They have their Eclipse, they had their Spear Shojin, and now they even have their Death Stance, and now their Hex Hex Drinker item. And so Clan Crusher can probably dive in 1v5 and not die.
God, Black Eyed Peas is just sending it, and unfortunately, like the band, they're gonna go down very quickly. As we see here, the chase onto White Devil. The Void Seeker even hits, and oh, it's just a tragedy as Tony jumps in with the Killer Instinct to secure that one. He's just face tanking everyone as we see the stun goes out. Trash Panda goes down. They finally get the kill on the Kaisa again. It's a huge shutdown, but it goes over to the Rel, so it doesn't much matter. And everybody else on the team gets evaporated. 36 kills to 8. A 15k gold lead by the end of the game. Perfect game from Clan Crusher. Only one death on Bingerbonger. They took game 1 personally because that mid-jungle gap was eclipsed in games 2 and 3, as it's going to be Cut Teeth taking the Nexus down in game 3 in what was a banger of a series, a bit of a stomp in game 3, but they're going to have their chance at playoffs. And unfortunately for the Republic of Gamers, they are not going to make it here, as they're going to get booted out. They take one more kill for the funsies, and it's just going to be Nexus exploding here. Nothing else much for the team. It's going to be a GG easy for Cut Teeth to make it to playoff chances.
GG's, great series coming in for Cut Teeth. Congratulations, you guys might have. I honestly don't know how the playoff bracket works, but with a win, they do put themselves in contention to get that one of those final playoff spots in their group. So, congratulations to Cut Teeth. What a team! What a series coming out here for the side of Clan Crusher, especially and Cut Teeth in that, for that matter, especially after that game 1 disaster. It seemed like in the mid jungle, like you said, Kevin. It seemed like a huge mid gap between Black Eyed Peas and Trash Panda in that game 1, but then game 2, it was just a complete 180. Binger Bonger being so solid on that rise and on this Galio, completely negating the advantages that the advantages that Trash Panda wanted to get in lane and that they got in game number 1, but then on the side of Clan Crusher, like being a lot more smart with their early decision making and not flipping the game level 3 at the scuttle, but completely showcasing how awesome of a jungler they are after these 2 games, especially on that Zahen and then now on the Mbessa. Just I want to say that they also went deathless in game 2, or maybe they only had 1 death, but just absolute carry performance coming in from the jungle here, and Tony and Kwanzek throughout the entire series. Even when they lost in game 1, they did look rough, but they still had some highlight moments with on that Misfortune Leona combo there. But absolutely destroying bot lane here. Sad times here for White Devil on that Varus. You don't like to see it, unfortunately, but 17 kill Kaisa, and I think they had 6 or 7 kills in lane alongside this Mbessa. Just running the map was just too much for Rita, and unfortunately it is no longer happy hour in Bamis team builder for Margaritaville. So congratulations once again to Cut Teeth. You potentially make it to playoffs. We'll have to see how the rest of the matches in this group went, and go through tiebreakers to see. But really putting yourselves in the best in the best spot to have a chance to make it to playoffs. Started with a series win, and they just did it with that game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, game number 3 was the game. I mean, I was kind of, a bit of a caster bias, but I was rooting them for that game 2 to take us to game 3 because their picks were so unique, right? Who
Oh,
locks,
for sure.
elimination game. Let's just lock Hawkshaw Mel, right? Like that's just a
Right.
crazy look, and they made it work, right? Like that is exactly what you need. You need the confidence.
Hmm.
They're uncomfortable from cut.
Uh-oh. I think Kevin is cutting out a little bit here, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think what Kevin is trying to say is Cut Teeth just uh after that game 2 with that unique draft we wanted we I think I have to agree with Kevin. The game 2 draft was so unique. I really wanted to see them win, but as I'm stalling a little bit to see if Kevin comes
I
back
think I'm
here.
back. Sorry about
Okay,
that. I have
yeah,
no
no,
clue.
you're
After what
good.
my
Okay,
Discord just
great.
like, yeah,
Welcome
my
back.
Discord just ran it down into the fountain, if you know what I mean. But
Uh,
we're back.
happens.
Um, and yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Era. I was just saying that I was rooting them because they needed the confidence in game 2 to kind of bring it back, and they showed us that confidence to win it after what was a pretty uncomfortable game 1. It looked like they just kind of like walking around and taking fights they shouldn't, and cut teeth, bring it back game 2, dominating game 3, and I think they earned their chance to make it a playoffs. But I mean, shout out to Margaritaville for doing a great job in that game 1, putting up a fight in game 2, but ultimately they just couldn't do it. But I mean, shout outs to them for participating in the league so far.
Yeah, I mean, Margaritaville, they had a fantastic game number 1. I mean, I love that they punished Clan Crusher for that early scuttle crab, and then snowballed it into pretty much winning the game. I think with Ari getting that blue buff, getting the solo kill onto sorry Binger Bonger, and then rolling the map from there. I mean, it was just overall really great team play in game number 1. Overall, great team win. They did have some good moments in game number 2. To try and keep themselves close in the early game, but I think as the game progressed, it was just too much for them to handle. As Cut Teeth did run over the game, and then game 3 was just Cut Teeth absolute masterclass in the laning phase and just being so aggressive and getting everything. So um, uh, great season overall for the side of Margaritaville. I mean, I hope they're back for next season, and I hope they come back stronger because I think they did have some great they did have some good pieces there. I mean, I loved I think Zork was just this overall stable piece throughout the entire series. I mean, unfortunately, top lane is just an island in every season, so not much you can do there on the side of Zork, but great. I mean. But I mean, I hope you guys come back next season. I mean, I hope you guys come back stronger. We'll have to see what happens next year. But unfortunately, no playoffs for Margaritaville this season. But for the side of Cut Teeth, congratulations! Like Kevin was saying, you put yourselves in the best chance to get yourselves into playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, thank you for participating. I mean, we had some flashes of brilliance. I think Zork and Trash Panda in game 1 really made it look so good. Trash Panda on the Ari. I mean, like if we can see performance like that again, I'm sure the Risen team builder would love to have you. That was a disgustingly good Ari, right? The flash charms were
Yep,
on point every
yep,
single game.
one hundred
I mean,
percent.
the Lich Bane, even to be like, hey, I don't need to
Yeah.
kill you with charm. I can just auto you down was
Hmm.
great. And yeah, shout out to Three Eyes on production. Shout out to you, Arrow, for being such a great
Yeah.
co-host. But I think for Risen Esports, that's going to be it for the rest of tonight. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a winner's interview, but hey, maybe we will see Cut Teeth make it through the gauntlet of the playoffs, and maybe we'll have
Yeah.
them back for a game on stream. We'll have to find out. For everyone still watching, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you back here next week for the start of playoffs. Arrow, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
I mean, as always, Kevin, always a pleasure casting with you. I think you had a great cast today. And then Three Eyes, thank you for the production. I mean, I think I need to be better about thanking my producers. So thank you, Three Eyes, for the production today. And then Kevin, always a pleasure casting with you. I think we had a fun series. That game 2 was so much fun. I mean,
Absolutely.
I did forget. I have to call it. I do have to give kudos to Trash Panda for that Arif game 1. That was just absolute carry performance. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm so excited to see what these teams give us for playoffs next week, starting next week. So we'll see which teams are on the up and up, and which teams will just slowly fall to the ground. I mean, playoffs is going to be pretty impactful. There's going to be so many teams fighting for those final 2 spots in the finals. So I'm excited and can't wait to cast more with you, Kevin.
Absolutely. And with that, thank you, Arrow. I'll just give us some closing thoughts for everyone still watching. We appreciate you joining us to this point. Join us back again, same time, same place, same stream, hopefully same casters, but hopefully some better, improved, more different gameplay because I know you want to see even better League of Legends as we jump into playoffs. For everyone, that is going to be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays. It's Bamis League. Join us back for the start of playoffs, which is going to be even more exciting. Thank you again. And for everyone, have a great night. We'll see you back here soon for some great League of Legends team builder. Happy to have you.